where Rue stopped, writing in the book to you. It's night has fell. It's about time to start night watches. It's actually a little bit after night watches because Rue said they'd be there around 8 p.m., which is when you guys usually start sleeping. So now it's more like 8:30, and a slight drizzle begins to wash over the island. Hopefully the overlay is working and you can see that there's rain on the map.
It is.
Yep.
So it's a very slight drizzle, and you can hear a little bit of thunder in the clouds above, and see a little bit of flashes of light, but it's not a very heavy storm by any means. But yeah, you're looking to bed down for the night whenever you guys feel comfortable, and you spent this day just hanging out at the island and getting a lot of food. I think you guys got an extra 3 days worth of food yesterday.
Mm. We did.
Cool.
They're
And
together.
Dan, we did a couple of trainings, and you made your way to 101. Yes. And thank you to Jeff for adding in the bonus to performance. So I think you have it.
I don't necessarily know if we need to increase the number of people we have on watch. I think 2 people on watch is already sufficient, but those of us who are watching should make sure that we are paying close attention to our surroundings. Tonight and every other night until we uncover the mystery of our nighttime observer.
Yes, I agree. It is quite suspicious that this Rue fellow would want to observe us. Can't bring himself. Meet us in person. Sign of someone who's up to something. Something that's no good.
Are we threatening? Do we look like a threatening bunch? I've never really had anyone scared of me before.
I'm not sure how threatening we are individually. Well, some of us are certainly more intimidating than others, but there are a dozen of us. I think any intelligent creature would have some pause before approaching that much of a number difference. Even that distortion beast, I think, was a little hesitant to approach the camp. I imagine Rue is smaller than that. I hope.
We have no idea.
If Rue is ancient and has somehow survived this long, on one hand, have tremendous power. Kirkus's account of Zoe is anything to go off of, but that would also mean that any ancient or creature from the time of the ancients that has survived for this long must have done so by being extremely cautious. Not a safe island.
Yes, and regardless of how dangerous or not dangerous we may look, we certainly look very out of place. We are very foreign to this island, and if this entity has resided on the island for quite some time, we don't need to look dangerous to be threatening. The unknown is always threatening.
If I remember, Rue was quite interested in the fact that there were Laselli traveling with all of you. That might suggest that they are, well, they're certainly from this island, but they know about Laselli and they see something in that. Something about that is important.
Well, we just need to be prepared for anything, good, bad, big or small, young or old. We we really know what we're dealing with.
But I agree with whoever said it before. I think we can conduct our watches as normal, and everyone just knows what they're looking for now. That's not the worst thing.
Well, the rain will help if there's someone invisible, right? We can like see them in the rain.
Yeah, I would think
Realistic.
it's much harder to hear them, but it would help us see the invisible person.
Hmm.
Are invisible, potentially, but Digby knows as amazing rogue, much easier to sneak when raining.
Wait, I thought you were a cleric.
Oh, Digby wears many socks, as they say.
Did George just get even smaller? Oh,
I'm just saying something.
I'm performing some arcane experiments.
I like legit like rubbed my eyes and he was back to normal, and I was like, I'm freaking out, man.
Well, I'm going to bed. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
I concur. No use staying up, worrying ourselves about it. Let
I
us
forget,
proceed.
who's first watch these days?
Lenora and is it Stella? Yeah, Lenora and Stella.
No use staying up, huh?
No. What I meant was, see
See
ya,
you guys.
suckers.
I was Rue the whole time.
Alright, I guess I won't go to bed.
Cool.
You would ask who's
I'll-
first watch just as I'm trying to go to bed.
Hmm.
Pranked.
All right, so normal watches. Lenora and Stella stay up. The rest of you hit the hay. Okay. And okay. All right. Lenora, tell me where you are on watch.
Like physically where I'm performing my watch from.
Yep.
My
And tell me
bed,
where Stella is too.
my tent. Stella is where is Stella? Stella is in the top of this tree.
Digby's going to be on this rock. He doesn't sleep, so he's also awake during all the watches.
Yeah, Stella's on top of the tree, and she's responsible for looking in these directions. I will be underneath this tree because this one looks pretty big too, and I'm checking out in these directions.
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception for both you and Stella.
It's kind of hard to see from with all the rain up there, Stella.
Yep,
Get out of the tree.
Yep. All right, Lenora. As you're on watch, you see kind of like a spark of lightning in the clouds above. Again, the rain continues while you're both on watch from like 9 to 11. The watches are about an hour behind than they normally are, and relatively quiet in the jungle around you, but as you see one kind of flash of yellow light in the clouds above, you see a creature up in the sky. And it's raining and it's dark, and as you look up, some of the raindrops are kind of going into your eyes, and you have to wipe the drops off of your brow as you're looking up at another flash of light, and it's moving, this creature in the sky, and your vision stays fixed on that area for a while, and another flash of light, and again you see this silhouette of some kind of a winged creature. It looks rather large, and you've been watching it for a couple minutes now, and it looks like it's circling. Maybe your camp, maybe something adjacent, but it is moving in a circle around this area.
We haven't seen a lot of big flying things before, have we? I don't
No.
remember us noticing these.
George
Alright, well,
has.
Yeah, there was the griffin.
We don't know it was a griffin.
There was also
I mean,
Oh,
you've
there-
definitely seen a few.
yeah,
Just not very
Zorn
common.
Zorn flies, and there was also, wasn't there like a chimera that we fought that we didn't kill?
What was that? It was that evil thing.
Oh yeah. It was like the mean sphinx who
Yeah,
sicked all
yeah.
those flying voyos on us and then left when we.
Oh
were
yeah, I
gonna
almost
beat them.
died.
Oh yeah,
well, I
that guy
don't
was.
like any of
that-
the creatures,
that
so
guy's
I'm gonna
bad
go.
news.
I'm gonna go to the bottom of Stella's tree, and sort of like knock on the tree, to get her to come down, and I'm gonna point up at the creature that's still circling. And Carlson's not here. And I just start by raising her attention and just letting her know to be on the lookout for now. It's been circling for a couple minutes. I'm not going to raise the alarm yet. I don't approach Digby.
He approaches you. He sees that you guys are gathering. He's interested. What is going on, friends?
I don't approach Digby.
I'll continue telling Stella. Yes, it's been circling for several minutes now. I think that we should keep an eye out, but we don't need to raise a general alarm yet. I think everyone's already very on edge. No reason to alarm them further if it's just a night creature patrolling the skies. I think that we should wait a bit longer and see how it behaves.
Do you think we should like put the fire out or keep it on?
No, I think we should keep the fire on. If that fire does go out and that creature does have ill intent towards us, we will not fight very well in the darkness.
Sure. All right. Keep an eye out.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it like, you said it's been circling for like 5 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, like you watched it for like 2, and you've gone over to Stella. You've talked about it for another couple. So yeah, maybe like 5-ish.
I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. That like, unless it changes its behavior significantly, I'm not going to do anything other than watch it. Is it still circling?
After a couple minutes, you hear something, Lenora. A voice that reaches out to you, invading your mind. And it says, "Wake them." Go ahead. Wake your friends.
Stella, did you hear that?
Hear what?
Digby, did you say that?
No, Digby, I just farted a little bit. No words, though.
Something smells fishy here. Something.
Digby, a lot of fish yesterday that you caught.
No.
is wrong. I heard a voice telling me to wake the rest of our crew. Well, that just said wake them. I don't necessarily know if it is the winged creature, but I don't see anything to be gained by not waking our comrades. And if we are in danger, we should face the danger together. Stella, rouse the northeast side. I'll get the southwest. Be ready for anything. Is it still circling above us?
Um, it is circling, and then it kind of stops and starts to just beat its wings in um, a in a static point, and it's a little bit lower to the ground now and more kind of directly over you guys.
Keep your eyes on the skies. And I'm gonna run over here, and I like to uh, grab 3 rocks from the fire pit and attempt to throw a rock at each of these tents to try to like rouse people faster without making a ton of noise. Like I'm not trying to like start shouting because that would alert the beastie, but I
Yep.
do want to like not have to tiptoe around and like gently wake people up. So I grab 3 rocks from the fire pit and I toss one each at each of these tents.
You grab the rocks and oops, they're kind of hot and you're fumbling a little bit and you kind of just have to push them because they're so warm and they just end up getting pushed like right in front of you. Pum, pum, pum.
Ah, I will. I'll start by running over here and like rubbing my hand. Oops, sorry, rubbing my hands in the rain to try to soothe my burns. Kirkus, Aurora, get up. And I'll shake their tents.
What's
Oh, I'm up.
going on? Is it
I'll wake up.
Rue?
No,
Wait, wake up, Nobby.
keep your eyes on the sky. There's a beast that's circling in the air, and I'm hearing voices. This is not a good sign. And then I'm gonna sprint over in this direction as they're slowly waking up and say the same thing to Coco.
Yep, and Stella will go and wake up the rest of the crew until everyone's kind of roused from just about an hour and a half of sleep, like just about to fall asleep.
You tell me I can't sleep on first watch. Let me tell you, you can't either.
You no one sleeps.
Yeah.
So the fire is still lit.
Yep, the fire's still lit.
I'm huddled up around the fire, but looking at the sky, back to the fire.
And it's just kind of flapping its wings.
Like, how far away is this dude?
It's still far. It is probably 100-ish feet in the air. 100 plus.
But
So,
like right above ish our campsite.
I mean, not directly above, so your head is at a complete straight up, but it is clearly like facing you, and your campsite.
Yeah. I woke them. I'll say like not a shout, but like a above talking tone.
Well done.
I glance very, very quickly around in the forest, looking for any reflection of firelight on eyes.
Okay. Looking around. Don't see anything. And using your ears as well, you don't hear much, just the pitter patter of rain hitting the treetops.
I think that our nighttime visitor may be watching us right now, unless this avian can speak telepathically, which is possible, but I attribute that more to those powers to something more supernatural.
Another crackle of lightning, and you all hear. I'd like to have some fun.
What?
How do you all do with a riddle?
Show yourself.
Is so
It begins.
can we hear this now, or is it
Yep,
still just?
this is all of you. You all heard that
Okay.
last bit. Yep.
Well, we're all just hearing it in our minds, not
Yep.
like audibly. I don't
Yep,
like
it just-
that.
I mean, it sounds like someone who's talking to you, like right in front of you, but there's no one there, and it does feel invasive. Definitely. And the beast, it starts to circle again instead of being stationary.
Is it speaking a language, or do you just understand what it's saying? Like, do
It
I
sounds
hear
like
it?
common. Yeah.
Okay, I hear it in common, not Laselli.
You hear it in Laselli,
Okay.
and so does Zell. The rest of you hear it in common, except for Zenalia, who actually hears it in Myrrh.
Interesting.
Oh.
Zenalia's like, you guys can understand that?
I was about to ask the same thing.
As it's circling, you hear again, feed me, and I grow. Make me drink, and I will die. What am I?
Okay, now that this has been happening several times, I'm like looking up at the winged creature as waiting for the next thing to happen. And when we hear this next thing, I want to look and see if there's any change in it as we're hearing things. Does it look to me as if the creature is speaking? I'm so imperceptive.
It's too far away now. It's moving again, and there are sudden bursts of light where you see the silhouette of this winged creature, but you certainly can't see its mouth moving. No.
Mm.
Well, the thing that it just said to us sounded sort of like a riddle, right?
It did tell us that we were in. Ask us if we were ready for riddles.
Maybe we just answer the riddle in our heads, and it will do something.
I'm gonna get out my spear. Maybe we should preemptively kill it.
How do you propose to do that? It looks very high up.
Yeah, 100 feet is a little further than I can throw.
Come on, you
Also,
want to play, don't you?
I know it's creepy, but it's not threatening us.
Do you not feel threatened right now?
Like I said, it's creepy. But, I don't know, there are creepy things.
Time is running out.
Okay, what did it say? Feed me.
Feed me and I grow. Give me water, and I shall die.
Oh, it's a fire! Fire!
Louis shouting up into the sky.
The flame swordsman.
The flame swordsman. Right. It's the flame swordsman. Well done. You all seem fun. I wish we had fairer skies for more of our games. But they will come. You want to play more, don't you?
Yes.
No?
Give us more riddles.
Yes, you do. So, you will tell me where you're going. And I need everyone to make a... Everybody make a diplomacy check.
Diplomacy.
Yep, because it's kind of trying to go against this being's diplomacy.
I mean, it seems like George is not trying to go against the being's diplomacy. It seems like George is
Failed
just trying to
anyway.
help them. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we are. What the? Oh, I have to highlight. There we are.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and then critical fails count as 2, 4, 5 failures and 3 successes. So, George and Nob and Lenora as well. Your rolls are low enough. You feel compelled to tell this thing where you're going, and you just hear those 3 individuals say up into the sky, not even shout it, but just kind of say, "We're headed east towards the mountains." And then you kind of all snap out of it, like, "Why the heck did I just say that?" Excellent. We'll play again soon. Another flash of light, and you can see the beast begins to fly towards the east.
Am
Well,
I
that was
dreaming?
extremely disconcerting. I would say I would classify this as both creepy and threatening.
It could be a powerful
Agreed.
ally.
That is technically possible.
It could be an impressive pelt.
If it wanted to hurt us, it would have.
Oh yeah, are you saying the Moon Knight's not our enemy? He could have killed us by now, right?
I think we all are aware that the Moon Knight has ulterior motives and is definitely not our friend. But
I
this
don't think
fact-
that we need to retread the ground of George's choice of friends and enemies. Fact of the matter remains, we were planning to go to this location. Now this thing knows that we're heading there and could potentially go there and beat us to the punch or lay an ambush or something else, but I don't imagine we want to change our course, right? We still want to go there regardless. If there's
Yes,
any chance
agreed.
that we can uncover the secret of that symbol.
We won't let a stupid, mysterious, riddling bird dissuade us from our course.
Agreed. Let's keep heading east.
Perhaps we could get in a little sleep before getting interrupted by our next visitor. This is certainly a night for intrigue. Lenore is standing in the rain, like very, hair's all wet and like matted down. The leather coat's got the collar turned up. I've got my arms like really, really deeply crossed, and I'm hunched over, got a scowl on. Generally looking like a wet rat and not happy.
Right. Well, I agree we should try to get what rest we can before journey. I think we're gonna probably want to move quickly as we can tomorrow, once it's light out, to see if we can get there before, well, before this thing has too much time there.
It would be nice to sleep, but I think that each guard should be very aggressive about raising the others in our party if they sense anything wrong. If anything seems even slightly off, do not hesitate to wake us. This appears to be. We have several things we're on the lookout for now, and we don't want to miss a signal.
Oh, a fire! I get it now. Good one.
Yes.
Okie dokie.
How long are the watches usually? 2 hours?
Yep.
Second watch. I don't think you're going to sleep for another in the next 30 minutes. You want to take over?
That's Nob and Kirkus.
Yeah.
They want to give up 30 minutes of their watch.
Okay.
I forget. Are Zell and I also on this watch?
Nope.
Okay.
Louis and Coco is 12 to 2. You're the next one.
Oh,
And then all the NPCs go together. So I guess Zeltana's probably with Coco. We'll say that Zell is also with you. And then the rest of the NPCs are 2 to 4, which is basically just like Riku and Zenalia, since Digby is all watches. Kind of. He's both all watches and no watches at the same time.
Mm.
He's awake for all of the watches, but he's not actually doing anything for any of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, you finish off the night with nothing else interesting going on, and arise the next morning with that slight drizzle still persistent. It has been drizzling through the night, but the thunder has stopped. The sky is now, instead of some dark gray clouds with crackle of lightning above, it is now just kind of light gray skies, overcast, with a slight rain.
Did you just do something to the filter? The rain filter?
Not the rain filter, no. Why?
It's only raining on half my screen now.
ooh.
My
Huh.
screen is fully raining.
Partly cloudy.
Interesting. Okay.
Pretty weird. I changed the background, so it should be light out now instead of the dark map, the night map. It should be the day map instead of the
I've
dark.
never seen this before. It's just like half the map isn't getting rain.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Try turning it off and then on again.
Well, it's okay. It's gonna start raining eventually. So
Try just turning it off then.
you pack up camp, leave a little bit later than you usually do, and get ready to continue your way east. Everyone's choosing water walking to finish out the day.
I am.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so you only have a little bit of travel to go in order to get to the eastern coast of a region that you have not explored before. It's pretty exciting getting back to uncovering new lands. Pack up your things. Walk across the water, and as you begin to walk, it only rains for another about half an hour into your journeys before stopping. You come to the coast with a sandy beach and these large red rocks. And you end up walking towards an area. There's this whole mountain range, it looks like, of these big red boulders and huge spires and a kind of odd formation of rock. And you see an area that you walk towards because it looks like it has some kind of infrastructure built, and as you get closer and closer you notice that there are, looks like, buildings built into the side of the rock. You see some ruins that have been overturned by sand and kind of sunken into the sand beneath, and there look like there are bridges that connect some of the tops of the rock in this area, and a giant arch, which, looking past it, all you see is kind of dry dirt, rock, and sand. This looks like a very desert-like environment.
Oh, jeez.
I would once again like to try out my eyes. Wait, shit. The skill check's not working.
Oh, I think we know what's
Look at
happened to
your
that side of your map.
Yeah, for real. Okay, let's try that again. I'd like to scan the cliffside for signs of movement, or like footprints in the sand or anything like that, to see if it looks like anybody has recently been through here.
Okay. Signs of movement in the cliffs. Watch for a little bit. Don't see anything. Looking down this path here, no footprints, but this is very sandy, and you see some long stretches in the sand. Um, looks like something was dragged potentially, not very wide, maybe only about 4 inches, kind of just like a line through the sand, and there's two of them, a few feet apart.
The problem with ancient abandoned ruins is sometimes they are not as abandoned as they are ancient. I think we should keep our wits about ourselves here. And I'll point to the two lines in the sand. It's possible that something moved through here recently.
Yes.
What's the climate like, Matt? Is it just sand and rocks, or is there like hot temperatures? Is it humid?
It's about as hot as it was on the island, coming from kind of like a tropical climate, but the humidity has been lessening and lessening as you've been getting closer here. And again, it's that really weird sensation that you guys had when you were traveling from the rainforest to the snowy plains, where the environment shifts really quickly. And it's almost like the different environments of the Uncharted island are like self-contained in some way and only bleed into each other a little bit, but then have this stark cutoff point of where it just changes immediately. Because immediately it gets much less humid, much more dry. You can kind of feel it in your area, feel your mouth drying out. The sun feels hotter as it's beating down on your head. And I mean, this looks different than what you've seen. These giant spire-like red rocks and just sand and cracked earth everywhere. Very different than the snowy plains or the jungle. And you all immediately start to drink extra water as as you get here and realize, as you're looking past, that it's going to be a lot harder to get water than it has been before. As soon as you start to make your way through this environment, and some of you seasoned explorers like Lenora, Stella, Louis, Kirkus know to stock up on water now, because you might not be able to get some later. And also food, you're looking around and you imagine there's probably not going to be a whole lot of food here either. And we have our first terrain environment effect for the desert, which is this.
Yeah, wait, does anybody have desert as their favorite terrain?
Is that
Me-
even an option?
It is an option.
Yeah, I have desert.
Well, you're finally going to get a chance to use
cool.
that.
Yep.
Wait. I don't think I have desert yet.
Wait, do you have desert? I thought you had plains.
Yeah, when we switched Knob's backstory, I switched desert
Oh, okay. There you go.
because he's from Sinhara.
There you go. Someone does have desert. But yes, so in the desert, you guys lose 2 days of food for each day of travel, because you can't supplement yourselves with water and little snacks that you can catch along the way. So it's harder to travel through this area. So stocking up yesterday was pretty good for you.
So we got
No
3 days
jungle
of
snacks.
we got 3 days of food from yesterday, and we start with 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Plus, we also have the the couple days in the
I have. We have the 10 days of food in the little special item.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and I have one extra day of food that I'm carrying on my person. So altogether, we have 19 days of food, which is actually 10 and a half days of food, or 9.5 days of food now.
Matt, since I'm from the desert, do I know what like food sources I should be looking for in a desert climate? Like, what do the people in Sinhara eat?
Roll society check.
All right.
Mm.
Here.
You spent
I
most of
stood
your
in
time in
in
the cities in Sinhara, the capital, right? And,
yeah, I was in an antique shop in the basement.
yeah, so being in the city, they were able to implement some agriculture there and farm, and that's where most of their food sources come from. It's from agriculture. There's they had to kind of make the land and shape it to actually produce food for them. If you're just going through like the deserts, there's not much. There might be a cactus here and there, might be some scorpions or insects to eat, but that's about it. Unless there is agriculture, there's not going to be a lot of food.
Wilbert does love the feeling of sand between his toes.
Well, I think that it would be beneficial for us to make our way up to those cliffside abodes and see what's to be found up there. Hey, who knows? Be ancient treasures or signs of where to go to meet other inhabitants of the area.
Yeah, maybe we could find an access point a little deeper in. I don't really see a staircase or a ladder.
That's true. We haven't had best of luck climbing.
And as you
Well-
guys are sitting and talking, some of your the when you talk a little bit louder, your voice kind of echoes off of the rocks in front of you. You hear a booming voice that also echoes through this little valley here. It sounds like it's coming from somewhere over here. It's hard to tell. You hear Bogadawa Tegnoa.
Hello?
Batako Togawam Paya.
We never did find out where those large, Replin-like creatures were coming from.
Is this guy speaking Big Replin? Does anyone here speak Small Replin?
I'm working on it.
No, we lost our Replin translator.
I'm about halfway done with learning Gob.
Louis, roll linguistics check to see if you recognize it.
Okay,
At
here we
all.
go. It's in here somewhere.
It's the book.
Christ. Ah, there we are.
You don't.
Louis has no idea. It could be. Certainly could be, but you cannot say that it is or is not.
Have I learned
Kind
the
of
word?
sounds like Replin. It kind of sounds like, Orc that you've heard a few times. It kind of sounds like Laselli. You're not very good with languages.
Have I learned the word hello in Gob by now? Or is it like an all or nothing kind of thing?
I mean, we'll say you can probably recognize some words. So sure. I mean, if you want to say hello in Gob, you can do that.
I'm gonna yell hello and gob. Blah
Okay.
blah.
Roll
Hello,
the linguistics
Gob.
check. It's a little bit of a pause. Katabab. Pata pagoda. Echoing throughout.
I think we just need to
Pagoda.
go.
Togo. Tagabada.
And do I have any idea where this is coming from? Like, can I hone in on it at all, or is it bouncing too much for me to even
Roll a
roll?
perception check. Bouncing too much.
Huh.
This is a rough night for rolls, guys. Jesus.
Let's just walk in.
We
I'll be
rolled a
okay.
10 on saying hello, and everything else has been terrible.
Hello.
Yep.
It was a really good hello.
Yeah, no. Do you even think they're talking to us? It could just be an announcement or something.
Yeah, that's a. Do I feel like the?
Do I feel threatened?
Rolling.
Well,
Roll another
Yeah,
perception
when I said hello, do I feel like they were trying to respond to me?
check. You've been studying. You've been studying your language, reading up on a different one, and it's kind of got you in the vibe of learning language patterns and stuff like that. It feels directed at you, for sure. And you can kind of sense some measure of like, you're not exactly sure if it's like aggression or like anxiety in the voice, but it seems like maybe they were not expecting you here and are trying to communicate with you about that in some way.
Do Zell or I still have those devices that the Lacelli used to communicate with the party early on, where like it expands a bubble and everyone within the bubble can
Oh, the like 5 minutes.
You do not.
Okay.
If we're gonna approach this person, we should approach as a group, maybe. But put our, we don't want to seem threatening. Maybe put our weapons away.
I feel like he is threatening to us right now.
I agree with Nob. I think we can walk in calmly and just explain to them that we don't understand.
But we don't speak the language to explain to them that we don't understand the language.
That does make it harder.
Now, as you guys are like talking about what to do, just kind of standing here, you hear, "Ayo!" and George, see this spear come down from the spike to your right, and then Coco as well.
If you want to fight, we'll give you a fight. To arms!
What are you guys doing?
I'm firing a firebolt whoever attacked me.
Okay, that's what George is doing. We'll get to you in a sec. What is everybody else doing?
I was gonna run away, but George ran into it, and I mean, you gotta respect the calls. So, noticing George run forwards, I will. I'm gonna run forwards too and try to like take cover behind this little archway here.
Do
Okay.
we have any idea where the enemy, or the where the spear came from? Like, can I tell that?
Yeah, go ahead and George, roll a perception check.
The angle at which it's sticking out of George's body.
It's a
George,
bullet.
George and
ballistic.
Coco can each roll perception.
knowledge ballistics.
So for George, it came from like the left side here. Not exactly sure where, but somewhere high up and on the left side.
I don't really want to attack it. I kind of want to fire a warning shot, so
You
Okay.
fired a
Well,
warning
yeah.
shot with the spear sticking out of your side?
I'm blasting this.
Wait,
Okay.
Started blasting.
that's the right side.
Oh, sorry.
Is that-
I meant this side.
Oh, okay.
The
Okay.
right side.
Like here, right? Like so. I'm
Yeah.
firing at this little this thing.
Okay. Go ahead and make a magecraft check. Cool. So you're firing at like this like little protrusion here. This structure looks like it's protruding out. So fire it and break some of the tiles off of the top of the roof, and they slide down.
And I guess right after I fire, I'll shout, "We just want to talk." And George will take cover behind this little pillar thing.
Okay.
You know how you converse with people.
I'd also like to take fire behind a pillar.
What?
Not take
What?
fire, take cover. But
Okay.
Well,
Everybody else, what are you guys? And Coco, Knob, I know you just got Aurora. Dan, you just got back. Some spears got thrown at the party after they were talking about what to do about this. I don't know if you were here for like the voice that was coming out from these mountains.
Coco is going to hop on her elk, ride forward into the middle, draw her mace, and shout in Laselli back into the canyon. We're not here to hurt you. We want to talk, but we don't understand you.
Roll diplomacy with disadvantage because you have your mace out. Or you can roll intimidation if you're trying to do that.
No, I think it's fair to say it's a diplomacy check. Okay.
Wow, pretty good with disadvantage. Damn. Okay. Knob, Kirkus, Aurora, what are you guys doing, if anything?
Yeah, Kirkus, that's what I'm trying as well.
Okay.
Aurora's gonna come up here, and I'm gonna just try to kind of like check on George. He seems to have gotten it a bit worse than Coco. I'm not really I'm not doing anything relative to the people up top. I'm just getting in position, try to bandage him up a bit.
Okay. Anything for you, Knob? Okay, take that as a no. Pause as you're all kind of like hiding behind rocks and ruins, waiting for the next attack, and nothing comes, and just hear. Laselli.
Oh, it's either really good or really bad.
Yes, Laselli, there are two of us. Three? Two. There are two of us.
Sultana will come up with Coco. Good thinking. Go with the war. Laselli. Badada. Potaka.
I'll hook my mace back onto my belt, so it's hanging at my side now. And I'll say out, we need to pass through we don't want to hurt you. We have to get to the other side of this. We are Laselli. We are here to protect this land. We mean you no harm. Let us pass, and all will be forgiven. And I'm going to take a tentative few steps forward and see and wait for if I hear more response.
All right. Anybody else have anything they're doing, or just kind of waiting?
I'll keep waiting. Can I make like some sort of a perception check to see like how far this like structure extends down this valley? Does it
From
like
what
only
you
go
could,
to here or?
yeah, from what you could tell, this like archway is where the cliffs kind of stop, and then it just turns into desert. From what you could see.
I'm
I'm
just going to continue
okay.
remaining in cover here.
I'm
Roll
waiting for
another-
Coco to be a hero.
Roll a perception check, Coco.
Okay.
All right. So, as you're kind of slowly walking, your mace put away, you see from behind this leg of the arch a little face just kind of peek out and then peek back in, and then peek out and then go back in.
When he peeks out, he's peeking me. I'll give him a wave.
Okay, and yeah, you can tell it's a Replin.
Actually,
One question answered.
maybe I'll come down off the elk, so I'm a bit lower to the ground and just sort of hold it by the reins and yeah, keep walking forward slowly but surely.
I'm gonna go ahead and actually roll for this guy real quick. All right, so kind of he's quick peeking you. He's got his knife out.
He's got wall hacks.
And as you get close enough, he kind of like he notices that you see him after the wave, and he holds his stare for a little bit longer. His arms just kind of still grasped onto the rock, just his head poking out, and he stares for a little bit longer. The eyes grow wide, and he steps out a couple of steps, and then you just hear "Asai!" and both of his arms go up into the air, and then he steps behind here, and you hear "Dokatawada, Lasai!" And then you hear from the surrounding cliffs, "Asai! Asai! Asai!" And you see Replins begin to poke their little heads out of the surrounding cliffs. Now all chanting, throwing their arms up into the air. He steps back out from the thing and approaches. Sai! Takaba! 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 Stodabada! Hadaba! Sai!
I'll turn around and like just look at Zell, a little bit of panic shooting across the eyes, and then I'll turn back to him. And so I'm just gonna point over his shoulder and be like, we need to go through, and kind of it's gonna do a lot of gesticulating and start walking and see if looks like he's trying to stop me.
All right, roll a performance check for your gesticulation or linguistics. You
All
can do
right,
either
all
in
right.
this sense.
Let me. Oh, I haven't trained as much as Kirkus in my performance yet.
We'll say that body language can also count as linguistics, so you can do either.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. So you've been training with Kirkus though, and he's taught you a few things
Yeah.
about gesticulation.
I've learned a little body language.
Yeah, and Hana will come next to you, and uh, he will just like shake his head and kind of like usher you in, and he'll point this way, and he just starts like popping off. Like, about to say,
So I'm trying my best to listen, but knowing that I'm not going to get any of it, instead I'm looking up at all the other Replans and I'm waving to them.
and they're all like scrambling out from, and you can see now that there are these little holes in the rock that you didn't get out before, that you didn't make out before, that the Replans are kind of crawling out of, and these guys are peeking their heads out, and craning their necks so they can see you and the rest of the party. And
Yeah, and also, yeah, I'll motion for everyone like, hey, follow. Come
and
on.
it's
I'll peek my
almost
head out.
it's almost like the rest of you don't exist. The Replans are only looking at Zeltana and Coco, almost just seemingly don't care at all that there are these mysterious primate-looking creatures in the midst of the Lacelli.
What the angels is going on?
You probably have a better sense than me. Well, in that you have a better chance of understanding them. I have no idea what they're saying, but they're very excited to see us, and I think, oh, I really hope they're gonna let us pass through. They're at least happy to see us. I just hope they don't want us to stay.
And shows you through, and as you get to the back of, or as you pass through the arch, looking back, you can see that there is like a hole in this arch that looks like almost like the mouthpiece of a trumpet that you assume he was using to project his voice over a large area before. And he's gonna keep talking extremely fast. Nob, go ahead and roll a linguistics check with disadvantage,
Okay.
since you know some Gob, but certainly not fluent in it yet.
That's a pretty good disadvantage roll.
This is my
14.
best stat.
Wow. 14 and 7. So it's hard. He's talking very fast, or she is talking very fast, and you don't know the language. You don't even know the language that's like adjacent to it yet. But there are a few words that kind of sound like words that you've been studying. You get a lot of excitement, and they're very excited to see the Lacelli, obviously. A lot of questions you pick up on. He's definitely asking like a lot of questions. Not exactly sure what those are, but probably something along the lines of like hows and wheres type questions. And then the only other kind of real word that you pick up at the end, after you guys have passed through the arch, this spearman is pointing east, and you pick up the word home.
Okay, I'm also, while we're walking, attempt to see if I can feel what this Replin is feeling.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if he counts as willing, because I can't really explain it to him, and I don't think I'm gonna try. I think I'm just gonna try and do it.
Yep, you just try and do it, and he gets this like kind of look at confusion for a second, and then just brushes it off and keeps talking. The main emotion that you get is excitement.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure. And because it's not a super specific kind of a thing for sense feeling. So yeah, that's it. The excitement is probably just a little bit overwhelming. That's what you're getting.
Okay.
Happy.
Well, at least he's not angry at us and popping off about how we're gonna see justice done to us or whatever.
Yep.
No, it's not the emotion is not bloodthirst.
Yep, it is definitely a positive emotion, and he is pointing east in the direction of where those tracks, you see the tracks carry on through the sand, lead.
Oh, so these tracks aren't necessarily from them.
And we don't know.
East is the way we're going, right?
Yeah, home. Wait, I'm gonna try and say back whatever word home is to the Repelin. Home, home.
He like looks over to you and like shakes his head furiously. Ha, ha, da, ha, ha, da, ha, da.
He likes you way more, Coco.
What was that word?
Oh, sorry, it means home. I think he's taking us to his home.
I'll try saying it too.
Ah, ha,
And I guess we're just walking.
ha. Hagamatsu, biba da, bibata, bibataba, bibakawa, da, ho, ho, takabaka. And it's gonna be like that for a while.
Digby, don't try and communicate with the Replins. Yeah.
Ah, the Replin, you say?
Those are Replins, yeah. We met some, on the western side, but apparently they live in the eastern side too.
Don't worry, Digby doesn't take pets after what happened to Mr. Pickles.
But did it involve the porcelain throne?
No, no. Mr. Pickles died. Digby accidentally got them killed.
That's really sad, Digby. I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's why Digby has no pets anymore. Got eaten by a bird.
What kind of animal was Mr. Pickles?
Only the best kind of pet anyone could have ever.
Winora's gonna look horrified.
You know what that is now?
He hasn't even said it yet.
No offense to your donkey, but it's a grasshopper.
I will breathe a sigh of relief.
A grasshopper, huh? Why is that the best?
Because they're so, like, jumpy, you know? And they just get you. They just know.
Mr. Pickles, huh? I'm sure he loved you very much, Digby.
Oh, I know he did. He did. And you will follow this Replin for only about 35 to 40 minutes, walking through the hard, cracked earth, which is also scattered in sand. It's not a complete dune. There are piles of sand, here and there is kind of like, a thin layer of sand in spaces, but mostly it's like hard earth rock, really dry rock that you step across until and you're traveling east for a little bit, but then you kind of turn around the mountain range and head a little bit south, which is also actually, coincidentally, the direction that you guys kind of want to go. You're a little bit north of that marker on the map. And because remember, after Kirk's attuned to it, you can kind of zoom in and the markings will become more specific. And you will see the mountain face appear to the south, where it gets into like higher mountains than you saw on the coast, and you see what looks like signs of a village. Some more of those stone structures with roofs built into the red rock and ropes connecting them. And as you guys, are you loading a new map? You are, right?
I'm in.
Yep.
We're on
On
Replin
it.
Village. Yep.
Cool. Yep. He will
Interesting.
shout out to the other Replins, and they will immediately come rushing towards you guys and do a similar excited, just bombardment of questions, talking to each other, and just in general awe of the Lacelli. And yes, all these Replins have this kind of red skin, as opposed to the blue skin that you're used to with the other Replins.
I love Replin Knights so much.
They're so
I
cute.
know.
So, interestingly enough, about the Replin Knights is, because you mentioned it, Lenore, roll a society check.
I don't think I've ever done that before.
There was also a sorceress Ratlin in the
Oh yes.
previous little bit. Yeah, look at their little
Those.
robes.
um. So, the thing that you notice, even with the four Lenora, is that the armor that the Replins wear is very rusted, and it does not fit them. Similar to the picture, the helmet is like hanging off of his head, clearly not fitting correctly. The gauntlets, which are supposed to cover like your forearm, are going up past the forearm, almost up to the shoulder. This picture doesn't show that. And then the sword, also rusty, looks like a great sword in the hands of this Replin knight. But really, it's like a short sword where the top has been like cut off to make it smaller.
I'll elbow Louis as we're walking past one. You know more about armaments than I do, but it looks to me like these ones may have been taken from a larger set of Replins. We
I
did see
agree.
big Replins before.
Well, there's no reason to assume that the thing they were taken from was a Replin. These could be. Could I make like I don't know what kind of check, a check of some sort on the weapon?
Yeah, you can make a society check.
I would like to, based on like the types of weapons we've seen so far on this island. So I guess that would be like current Lacelli weapons, and then like the stuff that the ancients were using as described by Kirkus with the flashback, and then like stuff that we've seen Replins using. Like, are these weapons identifiable as one of those types of weapons?
Yeah, make a society.
There we are.
Okay. You can't say for certain because again, these armaments are pretty rusted and weathered. Looks like they've seen their fair share of either combat or just time. The closest they come to, it's definitely not Lacelli. Way too heavy metal. For that, they tend to wear like very tight-fitted armors and like leathers and stuff like that. Not heavier metal like this. The closest thing is actually like what you would see back home in like the Renta Military, or in terms of things that you've seen on this island. The closest is actually that guy that George reanimated.
Oh, interesting.
Is this appropriately sized for a human?
I mean,
Parif?
from here, yeah, Parif, yeah. From here, it looks like it. I mean, it's certainly big on the Replin, so it probably fit a human.
Well, shall we ask Parif?
Interesting, Louis. I had thought these were more from other Replins, but if this is a human armor, I think that Captain Dardanos will be very interested to learn about that. If we can find an excuse, we should attempt to size up one of the helmets. I think that would be our best measuring stick.
That makes sense. These we know that the about the history of the expedition that came here. Perhaps this stuff was taken from the dead members of that expedition.
Can somebody remind me all of the details we know about that? I'm having trouble piecing together, like, what we've learned about it so far.
Sorry, about what specifically?
The previous human expedition here.
It was from Tay.
Oh, right, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, basically all you know, you found that ship in the very beginning, and then you found the soldiers at the stronghold, and then basically all that Parif told you is that he was a soldier of Redguard, and he was hired by some dude, or he was commanded by some dude, and they came here for riches, and he said that they found something else, a powerful weapon, I think he said, and that's what they were trying to get, and then he died in like an explosion of blackness at the stronghold.
All right.
And then George sent him to Oatmeal Heaven.
All right, what?
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Are you gonna
Kinda.
pull him out of Oatmeal Heaven?
Yeah. George is gonna bring back Parif. We're gonna have a little
Right
chat
now?
with him.
Right now.
What is anything? It doesn't
I
seem
mean-
like anything's happening right now. It's
You're all just surrounded by Replins who are like oohing and awing at the Laselli. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah, we should probably maybe wait until like bedtime.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And they're shouting at each other. The guy who kind of led you back here is like kula beta one of them rushes off and comes back with an individual who is taller than the other Replins, and whose features are less lizard, totally lizard-like, and he has a little bit more of some draconic features in the way that his face is shaped and his horns kind of stretch back. And he's about as tall as you guys are. And the other thing of note is that he wears actually a lot of the Replins kind of wear something like clothes, but instead of wearing kind of like a like a little shawl around his waist or something like that, he actually wears like pants, which is kind of strange to see. And he has a metal right arm.
Interesting.
I can just put his name here.
Yeah.
And yes, you can see his right arm is bigger than his left. It's bigger proportionally to his body than it should be. And you can see like a glowing blue gem at the joint of the elbow and on the hand. Kind of, you can hear it move as he walks towards you.
Good question.
Cool.
This seemed to be more of like a like thing that's worn over his real arm, or like a replacement real arm.
I won't make you roll for it. If you want to like really try and figure it out, on first glance, it looks like that's his arm. It's a replacement.
Interesting.
Hey, I thought we were supposed to be able to name the elites. What's going on with that?
Well, He,
That's what I would have named him. Cool.
yep. He walks up and is talking to his Replin friend, and you're gonna speak out. Digaba. Dugaba stay hada.
I'll hook my arm around Zell's and kind of drag the two of us in front of him.
He will kneel down onto one knee and reach up his two arms to try and like gingerly grasp your hand.
Yeah, I'll hold my hand out to him.
He'll kiss the top of your hand and then place it against his cheek softly and close his eyes and just hold your hand there, touching his face for a moment. Releases it. He does the same with Zell. He stands up and he puts his left arm, the robotic one, out at a kind of 90-degree turn, like in front of him. So it goes, straight in front of him and then turns across him like he's showing you the arm.
Oh. I'll start speaking to him in Luceli. Is there something wrong with your arm?
Kind of gives a puzzled look, looks down to his friend, who's like, Dagabat? No takas. Debat bidap. He looks out to the rest of you, and you all hear Jigste fa do no doj tik drana. And Knob, what you hear is, I'm sorry. I do not speak the language of your people. Do any of you speak Draconic? Elder speak? James here.
Oh yeah, sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. Cool. Said something that no one else understood, but you understood it.
Okay.
As, sorry, I don't speak your language, because Coco's talking to him. Do any of you speak Elder speak? And he said it in Elder speak.
And I'll reply to him in Elder speak. Yes, I do.
And he turns.
Hello.
And he walks up to Lenora. Good. I'm glad we can communicate. Because he can't see you. Like, he couldn't see you behind her when you first shouted out.
I'll just slightly smile at him and nod a little bit.
He's not making eye contact with me, so
No,
I think that's some sort of like cultural thing. So I'm not looking at him either. I'm like looking over here. Yeah. Okay. It's nice to meet you.
And now he like turns and faces Knob, now that you're kind of to the side of Lenora. Oh, my apologies. You can speak this language. Impressive.
Oh, thanks. I have. Sorry if I'm a little rusty. I haven't spoken it in a while. Who are
Neither
you?
have I. My name is Cool. I am the leader of this village.
Hello, Cool. We are a group of explorers. We come from the west.
You have Laseli with you. I have many questions. We have not seen Laseli in some time. And we are honored by your presence.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Of course. Ask anything you need. You feel like you need to. We're more than happy to answer.
Well, I appreciate that. Knob, you said your name was.
Yeah, Knob.
I appreciate that, Knob. Time for questions will come later. For now, we celebrate the arrival of the Lacelli in our camp. A feast shall be had. And then you hear him shout out to everyone else, Hadaba, a big da fida, habada, sokta Lacelli!
I'm
Everyone
gonna
just
tell
like
everyone. Oh,
erupts.
I'm gonna tell everyone else. They're very excited for us to be here. They're gonna throw a big party for us.
What's up?
That's very kind. I'm talking back to Cool. That's very kind of you, sir. It's not necessary, of course, but thank you.
Well, you may not know it, but really, it is. So, wait here. We shall gather some food, some drink, play you some
A-
music, and we will have a celebration of the return of the Lacelli.
As Cool's walking off, Knob's gonna remember from the diplomacy book that he would study with Sloan that you need to state your intentions, and Knob will yell out to Cool, we mean no harm. We come in peace.
You come with Lacelli. I'm not worried about that.
They're peaceful. They're not gonna. I'll talk to everyone in common. They're peaceful. They're not gonna attack us or anything. They're they're
That
they're,
is
they're really excited about the Lacelli being here. They just want to celebrate.
that is good.
Okay.
There are a
That's-
lot of them.
Yeah, that's certainly a relief.
Did they say why they're excited about the Lacelli?
No, but they said that if we're friends with Lacelli, then they don't really need to worry about us.
I
So-
kind of try to like edge away from these ones to get back closer to the Lasalli.
Yeah.
I hope they do not have unreasonable expectations for what we will do for them, because that we travel with Lacelli.
I mean, all they said is they have a lot of questions. And we have questions too. So it's you gotta barter with your opposing party, and you got equal exchange of information. I'm ready.
And a bunch of the Replins begin to scatter about the rocks and go into holes and then come back out with large stone plates of food and goblets of drink, and more Replins are crawling out of the various nooks and crannies of this small village, and you can see more and more Replins begin to pile out.
I'm also gonna mention they only think we have two Lacelli with us. So sorry, Kirkus. I guess they don't really see you as the real deal.
So weird.
So we're gonna wait here, and then they're just gonna start a party.
I have to thank you, Nob. You really bailed me out there. I thought I was gonna have to, gesture and talk past this guy for, another hour or something.
Well, I haven't had to speak Elder Speak since I met some of the dragons in Sungar. It's a pretty language.
It really sounds it. I I'm suddenly feeling like I don't contribute as much to this party as maybe I could. But Nob, you spoke some gob? You speak the language of dragons?
Yeah, it's no big deal. I mean, after listening to people for a while, you pick it up,
Well, maybe you pick it up.
I'll like join Kirkus and clapping Nob on the back and be like, yeah, And Nob was the only one who knew it.
Wow, guys. I really appreciate that. But look, I mean, we need to pretend like, or not pretend. I mean, it's not pretending at all. We need to really admire Coco and Lil Zeltana here, because if you weren't with us, we'd probably be dead. I can't even count it in my hands the number of times that, I've been saved by the rest of you. So it's about time that, I stepped up a little bit. I recommend that you guys try and talk, or at least approach as many Replit as you can, pointing to Coco and Zeltana. The more of them that get to meet you, the happier they're gonna be. And
Well, I
Kirkus, you
think
might want to
you're.
go shirtless. That's like the big surprise, cherry on top. You can either do that now or later.
Yep. Yeah, they're all piling in at this point. And two of them are gonna grab two of your hands and pull you into the crowd,
Oh,
and they're gonna start like pulling on your hands, like dancing around. You can see that Replins are now bringing out various instruments, like drum type instruments and some like tambourine style instruments as well. And as the food and drink is coming out, music begins to start to play as well, and the Replins begin to dance around to these lighthearted tunes, and torches begin to get lit along kind of the border of this area, and festivities begin to ensue.
If Cool isn't trying to get questions answered right now, which I think he said he wasn't, Coco will go around and sort of try and shake as many hands as she can.
Yep, and they will all be more than happy to shake your hand. It's not even like a shake, it's like they're
Yeah.
grabbing it and they kind of like feel it, like almost testing if like you're real, and kind of squishing your hand a little bit.
She will offer her hand to each Replin who wants it.
Yep. And then they kind of like just let go of it and look at you with awe. And all these Replins you can see have various weaponry attached to them, like little daggers at their side. A bunch of them have spears on their backs, and it looks like they keep their weapons on them as they're dancing about as well. But there is no signs of tension whatsoever. Everyone is very relaxed and just excited and happy. And tons of people are coming up to Cool as well, and looks like they're asking him about what's going on and trying to get answers out of him because he has some connection to your party now. They understand that he can communicate with you guys in some capacity. And all the Replins begin to just bring all of you food, even the non-Lacelli people. There's this huge pile of like warm grains and like dried fruits that are all like mixed together that gets like brought up to Lenora and Louis.
Yes. Sure. And I'll take their. Are these things that we recognize? Foods that we recognize?
It looks kind of like some sort of like quinoa with maybe like raisins in it.
I'll take a trepidatious bite of it, tentatively feeling it out. Oh, this is actually quite good.
And they bring you another dish, which is kind of like looks like spiced like chickpeas essentially that have been like roasted. And
Well, that sounds really good, actually.
yeah, the food is actually really, really good. And they also bring you drinks as well, alcoholic beverages to those who would like it.
I'm gonna, for lack of other communication abilities, I'm gonna bow to them after they give me stuff.
Okay.
do we hear these Replans speaking any similar tongue to the other Replan language?
It seems similar, even without rolling. Yeah, it seems like it's the same thing.
Okay. I have a stop at nighttime.
Do not do it, George.
Hey, you don't even know what it is. It could be something horrible.
It's bringing back the spirits of the Replans that he stole.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
My God.
Like, it's not the worst though. Like, Reppy could be a good translator for us.
Nob can speak to them.
I can speak to Cool right now.
Yeah. But he's the leader, so if you could speak to one of them, that's a good one to speak to.
I'm just saying, we got that in our back pocket.
It's in our toolbox. I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's a toolbox.
It's a silver bullet.
Silver bullet of getting us killed.
Wait. It won't
Wait.
get us killed.
Wait a minute. So, yeah, is there anything
Cool's
people want to do as you're getting brought this delicious food and drink, and there's music going on, dancing to be had? Everyone's just very, very excited, looking at Coco and Zeltana in awe. You both are very busy during this time. Every single Replin in this village wants, to meet you, and then even after they've met you, to just be in your general vicinity, and try and get you to dance and participate in the festivities.
Kind of feel like we should ask Cool about what he knows about the Gloom Hollow.
Yeah, I could ask him that. He seems
think-
really occupied right now, but yeah.
I think we should interrogate him, Cool,
Hmm.
quite a lot later, but perhaps not during this party.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Leave
call.
the more serious topics for after the festivities.
Pleasure
I-
first, business second.
I won't drink, guys. I gotta make sure I've got a straight head on when talking to the leader here.
Lenora will also not partake in the beverages.
What's the time right now?
It's pretty early in the morning. It is. We'll say that you guys left camp a little bit later than usual, so maybe like 9ish. Took you like an hour and a half, then maybe like another half an hour. So we'll say it's like 1 p.m. So you're kind of eating like a late lunch. This is kind of like lunch.
Who has the map? It's Kirkus, right?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
Kirkus has it.
Well, I'll have to ask him for that later, because he's currently being worshipped, so I'll deal with that. You having fun over there, buddy? They love you.
Yeah. If they're inviting us to like get out there and dance, like we'll do some sort of awkward dancing. Trying to be
Yeah.
polite.
Yeah, for sure. They're all just having a great time. Get in there, Aurora.
Moves that could be described as limited.
I'm gonna walk around to the Replins and say the one word in Gob that I know, which is hello.
Look at this. He's schmoozing.
Just gotta schmooze. Hello, hello.
And as you come back and you're like, "Do," and then
Do.
they're all kind of like, "Do, do,
No,
do."
do.
Da,
Yeah, that's all I get.
then
I'm
you
practicing
see
that
Digby,
one word.
da, oh, da to you, my little friend, da. And Digby's gonna start dancing with the Replins.
Digby just. Sometimes I just hover over his portrait and I look at him.
He's the best. So,
Digby's such a character. Like,
Oh,
he
yeah.
just looks so much.
I'll hang out with Lenora, who also is staying sober.
I'm just sort of like warily casting my eyes around the party, just sort of taking in what I can. I'll, nibbling on some food, but not letting things get too far out of my sight.
You calculating exit strategies, Lenora?
With Sloane no longer part of the party, someone must take the mantle of Watcher, and I've been trying to think to myself, in high uncertainty situations, what would Sloane do in these situations? And I haven't handled them all terribly well, but I think that if he were here now, he'd let the rest of us enjoy this party, but we'd find him with his back to a wall, leaning unobtrusively and inconspicuously, while keeping an eye on everyone from our crew, and maintaining knowledge of the general's situation and escape routes as well. So yes, I'm trying to fill that void right now.
So that was a long way of saying that you're the responsible one.
This time.
That's, you're doing a great job, Lenora.
Not every time, but this time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of, I don't really like parties that much. The only parties I've ever been to, I've just gotten stepped on. People don't really see me if I'm out there on the... Well, actually, these Replins probably would, but... most of the time, people aren't really looking down at the floor,
I understand. I, myself, don't particularly know what to do at this event. I wasn't invited to a terrible lot of parties back home, either. I was either away in the wilderness on some adventure, or I think that people generally get bored with your conversation at a party if you just talk about magical theory for hours on end. So I'm happy to take the position and stay in the rear here.
Thanks, Lenora. I'll cover you next time when you want to have some fun.
I appreciate that.
You newbies need to get out there. Part of the job is not just being serious all the time. You gotta have some fun.
Yeah, I can bust it loose. Let's go. Come on, Torch. You want in on this? Oh, I guess Brandon just left. Never mind. And Riku's like, I think I'm gonna actually chill with Lenora on this one. Keep an eye out.
4 eyes are better than 2.
Exactly.
I'll nod my head.
She'll just lean up against this caravan, which you now presume that those lines in the sand were from these.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Louis is gonna do is he needs to find something to do with this party that he can do without speaking the language. So he's gonna find just looking around at these Replins, he's gonna look for one that looks like sort of on the bigger side.
Oh, God.
Alright, sure, you can get one of these knights.
Yeah, and then he's gonna sort of gesture, do like a picking up motion gesture with one of these rocks to attempt to communicate that he wants to do a sort of picking up rock contact.
Alright, roll linguistics to perform to try and communicate this to this.
Here we go! Oh no!
So
No.
picks up the rock and you're holding it, right? Is this like a small rock that you picked up with like both, like with one hand, or a big rock with two hands that you're kind of trying?
I'm thinking like a medium-sized rock with like one hand type thing.
Okay. All right. So you pick up like a medium-sized rock with one hand, and the Replin Knight is like looking at you, and he's like, oh, ta kabada, haha, and he kind of like motions like, wait here, and he comes over to this pillar here, and they've also brought out a bunch of different like paints and like canvas to do like arts and crafts with. Very cultured Replins you've found here.
Okay.
And he slaps on some yellow paint on this pillar here and makes a target.
Oh.
And comes back to you and is like, huh?
Oh, okay. This wasn't what I was. This wasn't what I was aiming for, but I can roll with that.
As this competition's going on, I'm going to make eye contact with Riku, and I'm gonna flip a coin in the air and say, just like motion with my head over towards those two, say, what do you think? I've got 5 gold on Louis.
Well, I mean, those Replins they're a third of his size, right? Seems like a pretty easy 5 gold. I don't know. I think I'd take Louis on this one too. Maybe a more interesting bet. How about we bet on how well Louis does?
Oh, I think he'll hit the target easily.
Yeah?
Though I'll give you 10 gold if he hits one of the Replins.
Alright. Fine.
God.
10-1 odds.
Sure. Let's do it.
Louis,
Well,
back to you.
First off, upon noticing that Riku is like looking at him as he does this, Louis will go ahead and take the opportunity. He never misses an opportunity to do that. To strip off his shirt and sort of flex, and even like sort of look at her and give her like the eyebrows. And then he will pick up an impressively sized rock, and attempt to hit the painted target with it.
Alright. Go ahead and roll in athletics, and you can do it with advantage with Strongman's show.
Advantage.
Alright. Louis fucks the boulder, and I mean, this is a big rock, so like it hits the bullseye, but you know it's a large rock, so it kind of hits the bullseye and some other surrounding area too, and you know kind of hits the rock here and falls to the ground, and the Replin, like his jaw kind of like drops for a second. Oh, and he goes up and starts poking Louis's like pecs.
Oh yeah, Louis is. This is like the best possible outcome from this situation. He'll flex them to make them rock hard. Though he'll sort of wonder to himself whether like Replin skin is always hard. Is it impressive to them?
You see the Replin start to take off his knight's armor. He takes off the helmet, puts it to the side. He takes off his greaves, puts them down, drops his sword to the ground, and he's looking at Louis. He's like, Bagatata. And he's gonna roll a linguistics check.
Ooh. Oh no. Oh no.
You have no idea what he wants you to do. He's not doing a good job of saying what he's doing, and he can tell you're confused, and he goes up to another Replin and he tries to like pick the Replin up. And then he puts him down. He's like, ha ha ha, and then he comes over to you and is like tugging on your pants.
Oh, okay. I will. I will attempt to pick him up in whatever the way was that he picked up the other Replin. I don't want to do it wrong and lift him.
He's
Special
motioning it
manner.
like a shot put.
Oh, he wants to be thrown.
Leonora's eyes are bugging out of her head right now as she's watching this.
Is he motioning what he wants to be thrown at?
And he's pointing at the target.
Okay.
And
Okay.
he raises his hand up in the air and he shouts out to his friends, "Bagatoda!"
Here we go. Okay, I'm doing this. I
Does this count as
I would-
hitting the Replin?
I would like to attempt to throw the Replin at the target circle.
All right, let's do it. Go. Just do it. Do a normal roll because he's a little bit harder to throw than a rock.
There are
Yes.
old
Go
cliffside
for
buildings
it.
here.
Yep.
This counts as a dungeon?
Yes, it
Correct?
counts
Yes,
as a
aha.
city. It can count as a city. It's fine.
Okay, excellent. Okay, I'm giving myself advantage for this one.
And he gets launched towards the target, flying through the air, screaming like he's on a roller coaster, hands up in the air, and just slams into the rock face and gets dropped to the ground and is like, "Oh, what the yeah!" And all the Replins are going crazy. And now there is a line up to
Oh
Louis
yes.
for Replins who want to be tossed.
Yeah. I guess this is what I'm doing with my night now.
And Lenora, Riku's looking at you with just a look of bewilderment, and she just like shrugs and like flips you a gold coin.
I will, like, my mouth is open. This was not the intended result.
Well, I don't know if you really deserved this, but I'm just in such awe that I feel like you won the bet somehow.
When we entered this city, I had many expectations. None of those expectations included Louis shot-putting Replins into walls as they lined up with delight. But okay.
Did it go to nighttime for you guys?
Yup.
All right. The sun will begin to set as the festivities wind down. And another meal is being prepared for dinner as the sun is setting. The party is continuing on until dinner, and Cool does kind of this, like, he gathers everybody around and does this oration to everybody, and you hear, Laselle! Laselle! And it seems to be honoring Zeltana and Coco. He gives a speech which seems to excite the crowd even more, and the festivities will continue, but a lot of people are tired from doing this all day, and dinner is a little bit more chill. There's still music playing, still delicious food, but people are more stationary. And Cool will eventually come over to you guys and want to talk to you, but if you have anything to do beforehand, Brendan, your stop, we can do that. Or we can wait till after. Okay. So we'll just gather up the team here. You guys kind of, the rest of the Replins are still going to be partying and having a good time with each other. They seem to have almost limitless energy. And I imagine Louis is probably pretty tired right now too. He's basically like spent a whole afternoon babysitting like 26-year-olds. So pretty tough. But Cool will eventually make his way over to you guys and address Knob. Perhaps now is the time to talk.
Yes, that sounds good. Well, we had a lot of fun, all of us, with the festivities, so thank you again for that.
Of course. I'm not sure if fun is exactly the right word. I mean, fun was had, but it is more than that. It means more to us than just having fun to see Laseli again. Our village has everyone alive now has not seen Laseli, and even their grandparents had never seen a Laseli. So it is quite a special thing. How did you come across these Laseli? I mean, who are you, and why are you here, and what brings you to the east?
We're a group of explorers, like I said, who we originally came to this continent, really, from a far-off land, and we wanted to explore a new land because that's what explorers do. And we came here. We've been looking around. We landed on the west side of this land, and we met the Laseli on our adventures, and we've learned a lot about them since then. And all we know is that our fate, pointing to the party, minus Coco, is directly associated with the Laselis, pointing to Zeltada and Coco. And it's our duty to explore this island with them.
So the Laseli have returned. The ancients must have given them a directive. For what purpose? Do they know where the ancients are?
Coco, he wants to know if you or Laseli in general know where the ancients are.
We don't, unfortunately. That's been the most confusing thing. Since we woke up, there's been no sign of the ancients. We don't know where to find them. We can't contact them. It's everything we're doing is to try and find them again.
The Laseli are trying to find the ancients. The only ancients we've found have unfortunately died. And we found them in the center of the island. But since these Laseli have woken up, they have not met any living ancients.
Terrible thing what happened in the center island. We saw the wreckage. It's where I got this arm.
Oh.
That is those are not the people from our continent. That's from an even farther off land. I promise that none of us are associated with that massacre.
Wait, you know who did that?
We recognized the assailants as members of a faction from a far off land that at least I'm a little bit familiar with. Yes.
And almost immediately you see his expression change. His eyes kind of squint a little bit, and he looks towards Coco, looks to Nob, and does like a once over from all of you. His muscles tense, his shoulders, instead of relax, they kind of tense upwards a little bit. Where are these people now?
Well, the people who attacked are definitely dead. All of them. But it's a land called Tay. It's like really far away. And it's Redguard.
You know a lot about these people.
Yeah, I've been looking for my own people for quite some time, and I've learned a little bit about Tay through my studies.
Well,
You haven't seen anyone like me around here, have you?
No. This is the land of the ancients. You won't find your
Oh.
people here.
Everybody says this is the land of the ancients.
And he looks back to Coco and back to Nob, still kind of has a much more serious and severe expression on his face now. How can we help the Lacelli?
Kirkus? Do you have the map? My dear friend Kirkus here has a map. Like I said, the fate of our group and the Lacelli is directly intertwined. And we'll have Kirkus take out the map and show Cool. We found these locations on the map that have been marked for us, and that's been leading our exploration is finding these places. And I'll point over to the marker on the east side of the island where we currently are. This is where we were going when we approached your village. To this marker right here.
He'll look towards Coco, and he'll point to the marker on the map, making eye contact with Coco, and he'll nod, and then he'll shake his head. Keep making eye contact with Coco.
Coco, I think he might want you to confirm where we're going.
Yes.
Or like maybe point at the map or something. I don't know.
It's hard when I can't speak to him myself. Let me try this. Tell him that I have the empathy stone. I don't know if they know about our stones, but tell him I'm going to try and communicate with him another way.
Sure. I don't know about the specific stones, but that would be great.
And so yeah, I will sort of reach out and try and feel what he feels.
What before, was just like a midst of excitement and happiness, has shifted. There is now caution in him and uncertainty. He is more defensive than he was before.
I would like to try to channel some of my feelings back to him, non-verbally communicate. Because there is that same uncertainty and maybe a little bit of suspicion. But I have to believe that I'm moving in the right direction. So for now, I have to keep moving forward.
Alright, make a religion check to try and channel your...
Okay.
Okay, and you can see him kind of close his eyes for a little bit. Take a deep breath and exhale.
Yeah, I can look deep into his eyes and see the concern there, and there's concern in my eyes too. And I'm hoping that if he at least sees it reflected there, that even if it can't stop him from worrying, he at least knows that I'm worried too.
Okay. He nods. And still looking at Coco, not looking at Knob anymore, he says, "You need to go to that location."
That, Nob, you can tell him that, we need to figure out the map, so we need to see what's at that spot so that we know what this map is telling us.
Coco says yes. She wants to go. We want to go there, so that we can figure out what this map's even for.
I think I know what that marker is for. For something that silly. Well, an area that was once theirs. Stairs to the Reach.
He says it's stairs to the Reach.
Then that's exactly what we're looking for. The Reach is our best guess as to where the ancients could be.
We
She
will.
says that's great.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't have to do the whole translating thing. We can just pretend that Knob is translating back and forth. We don't need to have you guys both say the same thing. It is high in the mountains. At one of the peaks, you will see the stairs, the floating rocks. It is a treacherous path. It would be wise for you to take someone who knows it. I cannot leave my people, but I can offer you a guide who will show you the way.
I think we would be very grateful for any help you could give us.
And he whistles and calls over someone. This is one of our best and most experienced explorers of the mountains. His name is Zarf. Kind of nods. Ha! He's not able to speak Elder Speak like I am, but he's smart, very experienced, and he knows the way to the stairs. He will make sure you get there safely.
Thank you, cool. One other question. Do you know who Rue is?
No.
We've been in contact with a suspicious being named Rue. We think he might be like a wizard or sorcerer or something, and he's watching us.
Well, you seem to be the one who knows more about suspicious beings than I. I can't help you.
That's okay.
Enjoy the rest of the festivities. I have some things that I need to attend to. You're welcome to stay here for the night. Tomorrow morning, Zarf will lead you into the mountains. And he'll kneel down and kind of kiss Coco and Zeltana's hands again before leaving. With Zarf.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. The stairs to the Reach.
From what I know, knowing the locations of the stairs is great, and it's more than we had, but what he said is true. It's going to be a very difficult journey.
Well, can't imagine it being worse than the Gloom Hollow, so we'll manage.
Let's certainly hope not.
I don't want to drag everyone along. I got kind of wrapped up in all of this. You should all, you know, tell me if this isn't what you want to do.
This trip? I think we're all very committed to it.
I'm not sure if we necessarily want to just go up there to the reach itself, but knowing where the stairs are is pretty helpful. And from what it sounded like, that's where Rue wants us to meet him or her, or them, it. So
Perhaps Rue is in the reach and was scrying on us or something of the sort.
honestly, that'd make me feel a lot better than breathing down my neck.
Suppose that is possible. I mean,
Does anyone feel like this shouldn't be what we're doing? Plan to go up the mountain tomorrow?
Yes, I think that's our best option here.
It's a plan.
Hmm?
He seemed really upset about the ancients, and I might have given away too much information, but you know, it's okay.
We wouldn't be able to talk to him without you, Nob. So, you know,
Oh yeah, I kind of told him that it was Redguard who attacked, you know? Uh, and I ensured that it wasn't us.
I think it's hard for all of you who aren't from here to understand what it means to attack the ancients and to even be able to kill one. It's unprecedented is one of your words for it. It doesn't happen.
Because it's sacred, or because they're like indestructible?
Both really.
Oh, jeez.
The ancients gave life to, well, everything that we've known, and they've protected that life, nurtured it so it could flourish. There's no one who would, in their right mind, stand against them. And even if they were to, they're incredibly powerful. And while I know that it was not people from your land who did what we saw, I must admit that I also had to rethink things a little bit when I found out it was people from off the island who did it. And in the back of my mind, I wondered if that might be what we were doing now again.
I think that makes a lot of sense, Coco. I mean, we all came here just with the idea of exploring an uncharted land, but it's become so much more than that. In a lot of ways, I feel like we're trying to save this land now instead of just explore it. Uh, because I don't know, it just feels like the right thing to do.
And I mean what I've said in the past, and I still mean it. I liked what you said to him. Our fates are tied together. We only need to take one look at Kirkus to know that. I believe it so strongly, even if I don't know it at this point, that you are all here for a reason, and it's to help us. But it's hard to see the path forward sometimes.
Well, the only way we could really prove that to you is to show you. And we have to show ourselves that, we're not like Redguard. We're not coming here trying to take over and just greed our way through this island. Staring at Lenora and Louis. It's more than that. We have to show respect to these people and these lands and their history.
Thank you, Nob. I know you're here to find more gnomes like you, and, well, in all of my past lives, I can't remember seeing one here, but I want to help you as much as you want to help us.
Well, I've learned a lot about myself on this trip, and yes, of course, I came here out of desperation looking for any signs of other gnomes, but if I didn't really find any gnomes, I think I would be okay at this point. It's more important now that I find myself. And I think I'm doing that by following this path and figuring out what matters most to me. And helping you guys, the Lacelli in this land is definitely at the top of that list right now. Plus, these Replin, they're not exactly gnomes, but they're pretty cool. I could maybe fit in with them.
Yeah, you guys are, well, you're not too different in size, and you can speak to at least one of them, maybe all of them soon, if you keep studying.
I mean, the closest thing I fit in, the closest group I fit in with on Testria were the dwarves, and they didn't like me very much. The Replins are so friendly.
Striplin comes up and grabs Coco by the hand. Says, "Ba ba, ha ha ha, dot dot," and he's pointing off over here.
Like, I can't feel emotions like you can, Coco, but that looks like almost love.
I think this one needs me for something. I'll be right back, and I'll
Okay.
step away.
And he's gonna point to the rest of the group and is like, up, 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 motioning towards him. It's like he wants you guys to follow him somewhere.
Oh, okay. He wants all of us. Maybe he's just gonna show us where they want us to sleep.
He'll
As
drag
long
you over
as
here
not on a rock.
into a hole in the rock.
It's not on a rock, that's better.
And it leads down into like an open cavern where there is a roaring fire and some like leather and fur beds beds in quotes laid out on the ground. Shakes his head and smiles at Coco and squeezes her hand again and does the same with Ziltana. But as you guys are like walking through the Replin village, the tone has shifted a little. They're still enjoying the music and enjoying the food and having a good time. But the stares at Coco and Zoltana are still met with bright eyes and large grins. But the rest of you are now, when the Replins are looking at you, you get the sense of more being kind of watched than being taken in awe. There is a definite shift in tone that not just Coco feels with your party after the conversation that you had with Cool. You take it that this is where you will be sleeping for the night.
Well, the beds are a little bit small, but I really think, even given what we said, that they're giving us the best they have to offer.
And you guys still have your tents and bedrolls too, so you could always just set up a tent inside here, like lay out your own bedroll or whatever. But it is getting late now at this point. The sun has set, so if you want to be on your normal schedule, you've probably only got another hour before you got to start getting to bed.
I trust the Replins. Well, let's not say that. I don't think the Replins mean us harm, but we should still post a watch as we normally do.
Agreed.
I agree.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I worry about the impression that might make, but I can understand why you all feel that way.
Well, we don't necessarily have to wait outside. We could just kind of be awake in our hole here. Make sure no one comes in who's not supposed to.
That's right. We don't necessarily have to be too obvious about it.
Yeah, because I think if you all can show that you trust them, then hopefully they'll feel that and return a little bit of it.
Of course.
I always believe in trust but verify. So we'll trust them, but we'll leave someone awake to verify that everything's okay. Plus, there are those other uncertainties that we've been seeing recently at night. We have more threats than just our hosts.
That is true.
Oh, good night, everyone.
See you in the morning.
All right. Go to sleep, regular watches, and you awake the next morning.
But wait,
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yes, we have responses.
yeah,
Sure.
I thought I on my watch, I just want to do something.
Sure. 4 a.m. is when your watch starts. You and Aurora.
Aurora.
Yes?
There's still some unanswered questions about this place that I believe Parif might be able to help us with.
You think he'd be willing to help us? Seemed a bit
Yes.
shaken. Or rather, not willing, but able.
Well, there's only one one way to find out. Arise, Perif.
Okay.
Aurora's kind of like got her hands partially over her eyes, like peeking through the fingers. She doesn't really. She's a little concerned about seeing this guy get pulled out of his paradise.
Paradise.
And Perif is summoned. Some kind of, I don't know how your guys look, Brendan. Do they have like a kind of shadowy aura to them?
Yeah, they're clearly not like real. They're like
Okay.
kind of like phantasmally in a way.
Gotcha. Cool. That's kind of how I managed it. Just making sure. So yeah, the the spectrally form of Perif arises. Oh my god! Oh god, it's you again. Necromancer is having a lovely meal. What is this place?
Hello, friend. I'm sorry to drag you out. Hopefully this won't be too long. But it seems we've come across something that we believe you might have some knowledge on, and it would greatly help our party if you could share some of your experience or wisdom in this matter. Take a look around. Does any of this recognize any of this?
This kind of looks like a cave. It does. Am I supposed to recognize it? I'm not sure that I do. I mean, it looks. I mean, that's a mighty big fire, that's for sure. But just, I mean, it looks like I've been in a cave before.
Alright.
Does that help?
Very quiet. There's some things outside that we believe belong to your old party.
Okay. Sure.
Very quiet. Come with me.
I will sort of come along behind them. I've got one of my journals out.
Very
Not
quiet,
the
Aurora.
not the Rue journal. Different journal. Right in.
Alright, see those 3 wagons?
Yeah.
Does that resemble anything you know of?
And he's looking at the wagons. He looks back to you. Looks back to the wagons. Looks back to you. Roll diplomacy check.
Swear to God, if he says they look like wagons.
Is there any way that I can assist with this diplomacy check?
These
Or-
wagons sure are made of wagons.
You tell me, Aurora. You hear him ask, "Have you seen these wagons?"
No, I don't think there is without talking, which we're trying to be quiet.
All right. So, he's looking at the ones. I might have some information about them. Sir Rabbit. But you know, I was just hoping, you know, maybe I scratch your back, you scratch my back, kind of a thing. I had a small favor to ask, and I could tell you all about the wagons.
Of course. What you want? You want a woman inside your dream?
My
What?
gosh, you're actually the smartest necromancer I've ever had. That's exactly what I want. Just a pretty girl. Yes, exactly.
Ah, yes, the
The
minds
oatmeal
of
is so
men.
good, but company it warms the heart more than grandma's oatmeal.
I do have someone. His name's Reppy. He's almost my right-hand man.
Oh, I mean, no shame or anything like that, but I'm looking for, like, you know, a woman, of course.
Oh,
She doesn't have to be like the prettiest, you know, queen of Redguard, or, you know, but just, you know, a nice girl, you know, nice hairs, sweet eyes, you know.
Human?
do you have one in mind?
I
Something
am actually
human.
saying that part out loud. I am asking him like very well, like human, like prompting
Wait,
him.
yeah, of course. I mean, yes, human. I mean, I suppose an elf would be fine too. Half elf. So.
Picture in your mind this company, this woman you want, very
Okay.
vividly. Think of her
Okay.
smile, her eyes, her hair.
Okay, doing it.
George will put his hand on Pevis' head. Yes. I can create her.
All right, great. I take your word for it, powerful rabbit man. Yeah, those the wagons. Those are wagons for sure. And you see that armor that's next to them. That's Red Guard official armor right there.
Is that the armor that the knight took off when Louis chucked him?
Yep, yep.
All right.
What do you know of red lizard people? Have you encountered them?
Red lizard. I don't think red, but we saw some blue ones. Some blue lizard people. Small, kind of.
Would it be possible that these lizard people attacked your old company and stole all the supplies from, and they're secretly hostile?
Oh, think not. I remember the blue lizard people. We we slaughtered them by the dozens. They were no match for the Red Guard army.
Hmm.
Oh, they're not your friends, are they? I was just told to do that by my boss. I didn't want to. I mean, they're lovely people, of course.
Of course. Okay. So what do you make of this? These supplies, they're from Redguard, but it doesn't seem like there's any Redguards around.
I mean, I don't know. Did you find supplies on my body?
No, I don't believe so.
They must have been stolen. Perhaps after soldiers died at that place where you found me, they came in and stole some armor, some wagons. We were going directly to the center island where I was discovered. We brought lots of supplies with us. We brought some wagons like that with us. So they must have come from the island, I would surmise.
Aurora, what do you make of this?
That the Replans seem to scavenge things. They may have found these. They may have stolen these from Red Guards who didn't have use of them anymore, like our friend here. If you'll pardon my saying so.
No, it's fine. I imagine that I wasn't the only one who lost their lives in that strange black blast back there on the island.
Oh, I'm wondering how these carts and such ended up here. Perhaps they were exploring more of the island than just the central fort, and had horses out here that were also lost somehow.
Yes, it appears that there's still many questions left unanswered. Well,
This is good information. It confirms where they've gotten these materials and armor.
yes. I think that is all, Perif. Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Sure, Master Rabbit Necromancer, man.
Now,
Thank you very much.
I'll send you back, and when you rejoin, you'll find yourself the woman of your dreams.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Sweet Brazilda, here I come.
Take care, Perif. See you soon.
Soon, and then...
As we're walking back into the cave, like lean down to George and whisper, actually able to create this fake person for him?
It's easy when you have the soul, but unfortunately, the best I can do is just a doll with no soul.
Oh.
Soon, I will find a soul for his beautiful lad, but for now, that's all I'm able to do.
Well, as long as there's something waiting for him, then he should
sure
still be
he'll able
helpful
to-
when he comes back. If you
Yes.
bring him back again.
He still has his uses. I'm sure we'll see him soon.
That was some quick thinking. Worried he'd blow our cover there, but
Yeah, and when you peeked out outside to look at like the wagons and stuff, you saw like no replins, like no torches lit, no replins. It seems like they all go inside, like into the caves, like you guys are at night.
okay. I wasn't sure.
Yep. Yeah, you saw not a soul.
Not a soul, you say?
But as 6 a.m. rolls around, you guys can wake up and make your way outside. And don't worry about subtracting food for this past day, Aurora, because
I was gonna ask because whoa, what's happening?
Yeah, I was gonna say, who keeps zooming in? Like, who? How come I can see when people zoom in?
what?
That's
Oh, really? Is that what's happening?
something just like dragged me around and zoomed me out and zoomed me in and
It was
Yep.
the hand of God.
That's
can
been
see
happening to
this
me.
right
That's
now?
been happening this entire sesh. I don't know what's
Oh.
going on.
Yeah, I accidentally clicked center players on current view. I did not mean to do that, but I off-clicked it, so you should be fine now.
It's been happening a lot, but
That's weird.
well, it's because he had it clicked on, so every time that he moved, it moved you with him. But
yeah, but like zooming in and stuff. Okay, maybe that's
It
well-
does do that if I have that clicked on. But
okay.
it's
Maybe
off-clicked
that's
now.
it.
Yeah. Let me know if that happens again. I can turn it off. I didn't mean to. Have that on.
while I'm serving up breakfast for everyone, I'll, like, we're still in the cave, like just us, no replins, come like check on us or anything.
I mean, you would assume that they're probably going to feed you tomorrow morning too. Like,
Oh, okay, they're gonna feed us more. Okay, well, as George and I are waking people up, like I'm just thinking, like, when Aurora sees everyone before we go out to see the replins,
Yep.
I do want to just let them know, like, what we found out of, like, George found out from Parif, like, all the tech stuff here and their constructions are all from that force from Redguard. The wagons, the armor, the weapons, everything. Must have been a tremendous army. I assume the same might be true of the arms and armor that we've seen on other replins elsewhere on the island. Seem to be similarly outsized.
That raises the concerning question of where did they all go?
Well, we know where their possible commander went.
And
Yes. Perhaps, yeah, they all got bloated by whatever he is, the Dark Crusher.
that's one possibility. Another could be that these replins themselves are not who they're portraying to be. I say we have to be on extra guard. Watch your backs. And do not trust them.
Oh man, I was just about to start trusting the Replins a lot.
Well,
Something
I've-
they're not telling us.
I'm not sure if the Replins battled these men or if they just scavenged their remains after they all were killed by something else, likely something from the Gloom Hollow if that was the case. But well, I suppose that's a baseless jump. But I'm not sure that we shouldn't trust them, but I think it. Well, it's like what we were speaking of with Rue. When you're outnumbered this much, good idea to just, keep your wits about you. They've fed us well, and I don't think anyone has experienced any bad effects from the food and drink last night. So they at least don't want to kill us right away.
That's very reassuring.
I won't be picking any fights with them, but I wouldn't say that they've yet won my trust. Just because we found one group of Replans that we have very good relations with does not mean that extends to all the others.
True. Oh, should we hit that short rest macro? I don't think it matters for anyone but George and Coco.
Yep, exactly. You guys should get some health back.
Whoa.
Hey, wait, did we get stats from this level? Do I have more health than I used to?
Yep.
No,
Oh,
I have
hooray.
one quick request. If you talk to Cool again, can you inquire about their graveyard?
You want me to ask if they have one?
Yes, ask where they bury their fallen.
Okay, George. Yeah. Just like just ask them where their graveyard is. All right.
Wait a minute. Not can I roll like knowledge society, knowledge deserts? How do people in deserts in Testria usually bury their dead?
It's a good question.
Go ahead and roll society.
The dead have many answers to our questions.
Yeah, you imagine that they do. And I don't think you've ever been to like that neck of the woods, but yeah, bury their.
Oh yeah,
They bury their.
but shit. Aurora would read literally any book that Nob brought back on his cart.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, they have a very similar burial ritual that other people in Testria have, and Sinhir is a very religious place, so a lot of people are buried in cemeteries, near a church.
All right, just making sure it wasn't like a sky burial, like let them get picked apart by birds or something.
Nope.
Deal. In which case, there would be no cemetery for George.
I'll ask him, George.
Well, we don't know what Replans do with their dead, so who knows? Maybe they do give them to the crows. Would be
No.
interesting to find out.
Be fed breakfast and cool. Come up and Zarf is ready to take you into the mountains. I hope you slept well.
We did. It was a cozy cave for sure.
It has been an honor to serve the Laselli, and we hope they will return in the future, after their mission is fulfilled, by the will of the ancients.
Yes, we appreciate your hospitality and for giving us a guide to the staircase. We'll take good care of Zarf.
Good.
My friend here, pointing at George, would like to pay respects to your dead. It's kind of a thing he does. It's no big deal or anything. Do you have like a graveyard or something?
And a puzzled look comes across his face, and there's still that tension that there was yesterday after the mention of knowing of the people who came and did the thing on the Center Island. Why again did you say he needs this?
I mean, to be honest, it's hard to really understand. He likes to pay respects for dead people and dead things, and it's perhaps a way for him to show thanks.
Roll a deception check.
He wants to steal their souls?
Hold on. Damn. That's my best guess.
Wait, you do have your desert inspiration.
Oh, I do.
If you want to use it.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it. I'll roll again. Thank you for reminding me, Dana. Oh yeah.
+1 and 8. There's a pause and well, I don't think that our dead need to be respected. They are fine as they are.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that makes total sense. I'm sure you've done plenty of respected already. I'll let him know. Can you tell us a little bit about the trip to the staircase? I don't know if you've taken it yourself, but we kind of want to know what we're getting ourselves into here.
He's still just looking puzzled at the other question, still kind of taken aback, confused.
I'm
There's
just a
definitely been
communicator, man.
a 180 since you guys first arrived here in his demeanor towards the non-Lacelli of your group. Just follow Zarf. Follow him exactly. And you have Lacelli by your side. You'll be fine.
All right. I'll look to the group. Does anyone have any other questions before we head off? Georgie said no.
Very simple.
He's
Your request has
hiding
been denied.
something, but there's more than one way to find out where they bury their dead.
No, you can just thank him again for my sake. We are very grateful, and by giving us a guide to the stair, he's helped us find the ancients.
I'll reiterate that on Coco's behalf.
He stares away from Nob and just looks at Coco and nods and kind of gets down on his knee and just bows. And starts yelling at the rest of the Replins, like, get back to work, who are all just, like, waiting anxiously. And Zarf comes up to Coco. Bop bop. Bop bop.
Do.
Oh!
Unfortunately, that's all I know, but thank you, Zarf. And please show us the way, and I'll kind of hold out an arm and gesture to the scenery in front of us.
Grabs your arm. He's gonna start taking you this way. Towards
Sure.
mountains.
Yeah, that works.
Goodbye, everyone. Waving to all the Replins.
I've got one hand on the reins of my elk, and I guess I'm holding hands with Zarf with the other one.
His arm is like straight up, like barely reaching yours.
Yep.
Oh man.
And the Replins all wave to Coco and Zoltana since they've seen Coco do that, and pay little mind to the rest of you. And you can just see Cool kind of staring intently and a little harshly at your party as you leave.
Things may have cooled off with Cool, but we weren't necessarily here to make friends, and I think that our diplomatic efforts were largely very successful. So, Nob, you deserve congratulations for the diplomacy that you accomplished here.
Oh man.
Your negotiation abilities have certainly improved.
I only got one person to thank for that. Sloan did a good job. I don't know how much I negotiated, honestly, versus just telling him exactly what I was thinking. And it worked out.
Sometimes that can be the right strategy. I would not
Honesty is
suggest
a good
employing it every
policy.
time. Honesty is usually a good policy. You have to know when to play that card, though, and when to hold it.
Well, if you must know, I did try and fib a little bit for George to tell him that we were paying our respects to the dead. I mean, I guess that's kind of true, right? Is that what you were gonna do, George?
Wait, I just got. What'd you say? I just got.
Were you gonna go pay respects to the dead? Was I lying to Cool, or is I tried to speak for you on your behalf, but you just said no. Were you just gonna go pay respects?
I think we both know I wasn't just gonna go pay respects.
As I said, Nob, I think your diplomatic and negotiation efforts ended up with the best result for the party.
It's fine. If anything, this proves even more that they're hiding something.
Yeah, at least we know what they're hiding, the bodies of their fallen loved ones. Yep.
Or maybe this is not their main encampment, and they're hiding their true strength.
That is entirely possible.
Wow.
We did land at a different encampment and or were led to that one.
That's pretty insightful, George. I think you might be right about that one.
They could be showing us a false facade.
Agrees with George. He would like to see where the dead bodies are.
Yes, Digby. We'll still find them.
Okie dokie. Good.
Digby, I apologize ahead of time. I don't think we're going to be finding any streets out here.
If there was streets everywhere, Digby has no job. You see, Digby just needs the bodies. Then Digby makes the street. You see.
Right, yeah. Well, no bodies yet. Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, in time, Nob. Where Digby goes, bodies turn up.
Oh.
Okie dokie. And you guys are led into the mountains. And you begin to climb. For a couple hours, I'm going to need everybody to lose 1 energy.
Alright.
Since you are climbing up these mountains that you can see on the Zo's chart. There's kind of a big mountainous range that you have to climb up, and Cool said that this was at the peak. The stairs were at the peak. So you were climbing up and up. Can someone do that for Stella?
Is Carlson here now?
He's here for radio broadcast, thankfully. And I'm glad that you're joining for that much, Carl. But yeah, he's just radio broadcast right now.
Matt, where did we land on the map? Did we figure that out?
Here's what we can do. Yeah, you guys always know where you are now, because once the map is attuned, it shows where Kirkus is.
It boops at us.
Yep. So let me.
Oh yeah, our World Anvil map. Check it.
I'm actually gonna bring it into map tool real quick.
Cool.
Just give me a sec. Just gonna move some files around. Here.
It's amazing that Elder Speak appears to be a language that traverses all continents. I mean, I guess, if there's gonna be any creature that goes from one continent to another, it'd be a dragon, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I meant to ask, do the Lacelli know about any dragons here?
Go ahead and make a religion check or a society check. A society check for like kind of active knowledge, or a religion check to kind of reach into your past right now. The religion check, the DC is a little bit higher because you're kind of actively trying to reach in and find a memory that you might not have experienced yet. But it might give you some more specifics.
I'll try the society.
Nice.
roll.
You don't know about specific dragons, but dragons have definitely existed on the island and have worked in tandem with the ancients before.
Yeah, there definitely have been dragons. I guess I wouldn't know if they came here from somewhere else, but dragons have come, and like most of the creatures on the island, they worked with the ancients. At least that's what I was taught.
Nob, can you remind me why you know Elder Speak?
I spent a few decades in the orc war camps trying to not die. And I met some dragons,
Oh,
and they were pretty cool. They didn't really threaten me or anything, and they kind of just kind of beamed Elder Speak into my brain, and I learned it that way.
that is quite the accolade.
Yeah, honestly, it was probably one of the weirder times of my life.
Most
But,
of us are beneath the notice of dragons.
Yeah, honestly, they seemed more interested in Wilbert than they did in me. They kept asking me questions that I didn't have answers to, but
Curious.
they they were nice. Not as big as our friend here that George has in his back pocket, but they were cool. Oh, here we go.
Oh, we're getting the traveling map.
So, this is where you guys landed,
Okay.
and you kind of came across here to where the Replin camp was,
Yeah.
and now you're beginning to climb into like these mountains here.
Okay, so we're going south.
Yep, you're kind of going, you kind of went around, and you're going, south.
Okay, cool.
And where was the Gloom Hollow, just for reference?
The like entrance that you
Yeah.
guys went into.
Yeah.
That was like right here,
Oh.
right at the base of that mountain.
Not too far.
What,
Yes.
what, you want to go on a detour to the Gloom Hollow, George?
I'm just saying.
Think
These
we
Replins
What,
are
you're
should
saying what? What are you saying?
not
These Replins are pretty
go
close to the
back.
Gloom Hollow.
Listen, these Replins are the closest thing I have to family on this island, okay? Don't ruin this for me.
We have Coco. Just trust them and they'll trust you. And George, these guys are the worst. Don't trust anything they say.
I mean, they do live in a bad part of town.
Mm.
Whoa,
Hey, the red ones do, not the
whoa.
blue ones.
Whoa!
Racially classified.
Yeah, whoa there.
So Zarf will lead you guys through the mountains, which yes is a difficult trek, for sure. you're back to climbing cliff faces, and this is in some ways actually much worse than the rainforest. You know, there's no tree cover, so the sun is just beating down on your heads all day. Um, Sunburns abound, which Digby actually cannot cure. Um, yeah, he doesn't
No
do like
way.
he doesn't do like burns. Like if you get like cut, he can't like can't like just like heal you. You know, a sunburn is an actual burn. You know,
Disease only.
yep. Uh, so it is a rough climb, and Zarf is scrambling his way up. And despite his small size, he is very quick. And you guys are, he doesn't slow you down at all. He can travel just as fast as you guys do.
Oh yeah, do I recognize Zarif from the tossing earlier?
You don't think he was one of the ones that you tossed?
Okay, too bad.
Did I throw this guy?
Yeah. Maybe I can pick him up for a second, see if he feels familiar.
Yeah, see if he feels familiar. Nah,
Doesn't seem heft.
he's got like a ring going through his left horn or his right horn there, which you don't think that he was one of the ones that you tossed. You tossed a lot of Replins, so you can't be sure, but you don't think so. And yeah, he leads you guys up the mountains, and there's very many like paths that you could take as you're traversing the mountains. And he's leading you guys through the ways which are fastest, most efficient. Who really knows, since you can't actually talk to him? But it seems relatively safe.
Is he making much conversation, even though we can't talk back, or is he pretty quiet?
He is actually very quiet, especially for the Replins. From what you've seen thus far, he's very reserved. And you will climb up and up for the better part of the day. Hours of travel into the mountains. It's about 4 p.m.
Do we
At this
see
point.
any living things on our trip at all?
Pretty much no. Some of you may have caught the occasional like scorpion darting back into a hole.
Okay.
That's basically it. And the higher you go, like after the first hour, you see nothing. It's just rock, pretty much. There's no vegetation, no living animals, nothing. And after the better part of a day, almost 8 hours of travel, you guys are led up to what looks like the first kind of peaks of the mountain, and there's a larger peak in front. This was like the false peak first, but you're at like the tippy tops of part of this mountain range, which is wildly impressive. You are now above the clouds. You see clouds floating below you, and these bridges that now connect the tops of the mountains.
Lenora will look pretty sweaty as we start crossing any of those bridges.
You're about to cross your first one, and you can see that they are spanning the tops of these mountains to make it a little bit easier to trek, because these mountains are steep. It would not be easy to climb up these. You'd need climbing gear. So these bridges seem to make that a little bit easier, but you have to walk across these wooden leather bridges that span these spires with clouds beneath you.
Oh no.
As
I'd
you
like
make
to
your way towards
propose
the
we
highest
turn around.
peak.
This is my nightmare.
I'd like to propose we turn around.
How does Zarf look? Is he just walking forward? Doesn't
Yeah.
mind it?
He's acting like it's not even anything. He's like literally going to start to step onto the bridge unless someone says anything to him.
I will say
Perhaps we
something.
should go by order of weight. For instance, George following behind him.
Nob, maybe you should
Well,
ask
but-
how
but-
sturdy these bridges are. Maybe you should ask if he thinks
I-
these bridges are sturdy enough for us.
I mean, I don't have that. I don't think I have sturdy in my vocabulary yet.
Strong?
Wood strong.
Strong. I'll throw whatever word I can, like strong or safe or whatever.
All right, roll linguistics check.
Okay.
You're asking
Strong-
how strong he is.
Strong.
Wanna wrestle?
He just flexes. So you shouted a couple of words, strong and safe, and he looks back and kind of like tilts his head and like thinks for a second, and he gives you a thumbs up.
Okay.
Good enough.
Yeah. I mean, we shouldn't all go on at once. George, you want to go first? No, I'm not like trying to single you out as the first person to go on a potentially dangerous bridge or anything, but you're the lightest.
Coco will
Well-
step out onto the bridge.
Well, wait a second. Like, if we go in reverse order of weight, then if one of us is too heavy for the bridge, then we'll have some of us stuck on this side of the bridge and others stuck on the other side. Wouldn't it make more sense to have the heaviest go first, so that either the bridge is known to be sufficiently strong for us, or it isn't, and we don't get split up?
Kirkus, do you weigh the most?
Well, if it falls, then we
What-
can't cross. It's better to have the last guy fall and all of us make it across.
I'd like to perform an inspection.
Oh,
I'd
God.
like to. I'd
bridge
like to.
inspection.
This is like
This
the
is like
trolley
code.
problem of
Come
pain.
over here
oh,
and
God.
start like sample it, like tugging on the rope a little bit, and like trying to like guess how old various components are. I'll like knock on the wood,
Yep. And
jotting
and
down some numbers in my notebook.
Zarf sees that you guys are like very hesitant, and he's gonna like come a little bit farther down and just like sit down on the bridge. He can tell that you guys are slowing down.
That
Um,
sass sits down on the bridge.
Yep.
I'm following right with him.
Well, fun and games till Matt just says say a number while we cross.
I'm gonna glare at you both.
Oh
And he just
my
starts
God.
rolling.
You know that's right. So, okay. So Coco is following Zarf on her elk.
No,
Where's the
no,
elk
not
band?
on the elk. Yes, I have unsummoned the elk. I'm not gonna be. I'm not worried, but I'm also not gonna be stupid.
All right, cool. All right, so Coco's across. Kirkus is going across. I'm just gonna pretend that you guys are as far along as you drag yourselves.
Yeah.
And Laura is inspecting the bridge. You pull on it a little bit, and it sways. You know, it definitely sways. This bridge is anchored at 2 points. That's
Mm.
it. You know,
I'll-
it is anchored. It is anchored here and here.
I'll call back. I think we can cross one at a time. You know, just to be safe. But you know, this is the way forward. So this is what we're gonna do. So
Is how like dry is the air here? Like, do I think that I could try to coalesce any ice to like fortify the bridge if needed, or is it just like bone dry desert here?
I mean, it is like a desert here. It is very dry, so it depends on how your magic works. You know, I'd assume that people can probably just kind of summon ice. You know, it's magic-y, but it
No,
might
that's
make your
fair.
powers a little bit worse. You know,
Probably, yeah. Okay.
you won't
I'll
have the
wait.
assistance of the humidity, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. We'll say.
All right.
So
I'll wait for the people on the bridge currently to get off the other side, and then I'll start walking unless someone else is already trying to get on there.
Go for it.
All right.
Hmm.
Who wants to go ahead and roll a D100 for me? Aurora, why don't you go
Oh,
ahead?
shit.
Again, what?
Gotta
So
love
that's
that when
quest,
the DM
that's,
asks.
that's quest 3. That's a D100. Just click on Aurora and just roll a D100.
My
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 God.
campaign window broke. Hold on.
The D100 is the scariest thing in tabletop games, I swear to God.
It is a lot of different
Means you
options.
have absolutely no idea what you're get.
It's
Which quest is
yeah.
it? Quest 2, 3?
It should
3.
be 3.
it lets you know that something random is about to happen.
Well, that's wrong. You need to minimize and maximize again. If you just hit fix, you need to minimize, maximize again. Otherwise, it brings in an old campaign macros thing.
It's solitaire.
All right, we can continue. Aurora, you're walking across.
All right. This is just like, you know, in the stories. The adventurer always has to cross a perilous bridge. Usually there's not 7 of them. Or 6 of them. No, there's a seventh one.
Also, usually the adventurers had not recently fallen down from heights 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 times.
True, but I try not to think of that.
After you, George.
I find the crossing goes easier on this bridge the less you think.
And as you guys are making your way across the bridge, it's fairly wide. This is not a Replin-sized bridge. You guys can comfortably walk across. It's um, about 6 feet wide, and the handrails are like up to most of your like chest. Some of you maybe even up to like your shoulder. If Aurora's probably pretty short. Uh, you know, certainly Nob and George, it is like above your head. The leather railings that you can hold on to, and it either is very new or does not get a lot of use because it looks very actually well intact.
All right. See you guys on the other side. Ooh.
NPCs will make their way across.
Louis, after you.
Okay, I will begin making my way across the bridge. Is anything gonna happen?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, well, in that case, I will make my way the rest of the way across the bridge.
Come
You're not
on,
also
Lenora,
gonna
you
choo-
can do it.
You're not also going to choose to play solitaire in the middle of the bridge?
There's never a bad time for solitaire.
You only play solitaire in the middle of the bridge if God asks you to.
Hey.
True.
Seeing everybody else on the other side of the bridge, I will very, very slowly, with like one hand on each railing, looking straight ahead, step my way over the bridge.
Step across, and it shakes with each step, but it holds.
Welcome to the
Only
other side.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more that we can see.
And just in case it comes up, I'll show you guys a passive for Zarf.
Oh, I'm really glad we got this guide to guide us.
Wow.
Good that you accepted him as your guide. So for the rest of these bridges, basically just things that I need to know is order of people going across, and then are you doing one at a time? Are you doing two at a time? Like, is everybody gonna like gather on this and then start going again, or is like one person just gonna like kind of go until they're completely finished? What's kind of the process here?
I think it'd be tough to gather on some of these little spires in the middle.
Yeah.
We probably, like, I mean, this is just like spitballing here, but I imagine it's probably like this is like one crossing, like these 3 bridges. You got to go across all 3 in one go before we can gather our people here.
Or I like the idea of like just spreading out. So like when someone starts on this bridge, when they get to here, then the next person starts on this
Yeah,
bridge.
exactly. But like you can't stop and hang out.
Yeah. So we never have two people on one bridge at the same time. But we will end up like kind of strung out across this as we all make our way.
We could potentially, but like just in case something does happen, not saying it's like what would it like that. Where could we conceivably like have everyone in the party stand? Would it be this rock? Like this seems kind of narrow. This mountain.
Very steep. Everyone can fit there, but it's very steep.
What about this one? Like, could we fit people here?
Looks pretty flat to you. Yeah, I mean it's big.
What about this?
Again, you're gonna have to traverse that a little bit, and it's steep, so it's not like the best place to like hang out for 20 minutes. But if you need to hang out for 5, like you're not gonna slide down the mountain. It's not that steep.
Okay. So, if need be, we can gather the group here or here. But until then, try not to stop and just don't get on the bridge with someone else. Give a little smile.
All right. So, cool. So, sorry, we're stopping here, or we're not stopping here? Like, we're just gonna.
If like something happens and we need to stop
Okay,
here,
but we're just gonna
then-
go.
Yeah, I was just asking because like obviously we can't like stop at these for very long with more than one person, but this could hold more than one.
Okay.
I'm trying to head off the "Can I stand here?" DM things before they happen.
Yep. All right. Cool. So Zarf will be leading, and I assume Coco's going after him, and Zoltana
Yep.
will naturally go after her. And just give me an order. Put yourselves in order on what you guys want to do. The NPCs will do whatever you want them to.
Remain as far back as possible. I'm holding up the rear.
We'll go next. We'll go next to Nob. He'll follow in with Nob, his friend Nob.
If Louis is particularly gung ho about crossing these bridges, he can cut in front of Aurora, or if Nob is. Turns out the excitement of doing that thing you read in a book one time wears off after the first bridge.
after the first
The other
time you
bridges are
try
not
it.
as exciting, and they're mostly just scary.
Oh, we like don't have enough room for everyone. So, all right. Is there any?
a procession?
Oh, I mean, if there's not enough room for everybody, you can leave me behind.
Honora does not like it.
Just want to hang out with the live token.
Okay,
Louis
so is this order good for everybody?
yeah, Louis is feeling pretty confident in his acrobatic training he's been doing.
Cool. All right. Who wants to go ahead and roll a?
Is this man about to say something that's not D100?
It's not D100. We're gonna do a D10.
Oh.
Who wants to roll a D10? Could be
Uh-oh.
anybody.
Significantly smaller probability.
I'm feeling good. I've rolled today. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Solitaire? You didn't roll the solitaire for good luck.
All right, yeah. So once Zarf gets to like here, I'm gonna start going across and following him.
So, do I have this correct? Is like this is how we're doing it. And then
Yeah.
Zarf will start.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And maybe the way we want to do it is that like we only have one person on each bridge leg at a time. So like from here to
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like once.
That's
the person
why-
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This makes sense.
So yeah, like everybody is about to take one step forward in like where we're at in the example.
Base is loaded.
Base is loaded. Yeah, actually, kind of. So, well done. A 1
Marcus
was a
steps up to
very
the
good
plate.
roll for you, actually.
There's an illegal number of runners on the field, but
No.
Gonna make it
See,
happen.
third base, second base, first base, and this is the batting order.
Yeah.
Kirkus
exactly.
is at the plate.
Yep, Kirkus is at the plate as
Bring him home,
as,
Kirkus.
as you step up, Kirkus. Zeltana and Coco getting ready to move the next stretch. You see a shadow in the sky
Dang it, not now.
coming
Go away, Riddler.
from the east,
Oh God.
flying towards you. You hear, "This is much better. Time to finish our game."
Wait. Oh, we should have got the riddle wrong back when we were on a nice, non-horrible terrain.
And this blade of wind comes flying towards
Christ.
Coco. And you can see now that the creature that has been talking to you is, in fact, the thing that you saw before.
Oh, it's
Yes.
this.
I checked.
God
Cheshire
damn
Sphinx
it.
was the name we gave it.
Oh, right, Cheshire Sphinx. Cheshire? Question mark? I did it. That's so right. Cool. So yes,
That's
it is
kinda
the
happy.
Cheshire Sphinx. And
Oh,
it is
shoot.
accompanied by a bunch of these Xeric creatures that are also flying
Oh,
in the
yeah,
air.
we fought those.
And this blade of wind comes flying towards Coco, and you all kind of gasp, waiting to see what happens. Then you realize it's not coming at Coco.
What?
Oh,
No!
oh my God, the pref.
And it
Oh my
severs
gosh.
the bridge. Luckily, Coco is on the next spire, so she is safe. But the bridge is cut, and the Sphinx lands on top of the peak. And I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh my god.
Oh, let's go.
So you can see why 1 was actually the best roll you could have rolled.
2,
Because-
however, not as good.
Yeah.
Oh! Every time!
The
So
D10
excited.
the T that's good. Oh, the D10 roll was for how many PCs cross that part of the bridge before he cuts it.
Ah.
Well,
Just
Oh
what?
my god.
I mean, we could
Go
have.
without us, Coco?
10 could have been good then, right? Because then we all get
Fighters.
cross before he cuts it.
Ugh. What is this? How are we gonna fight this guy? Is this real terrain? Can we walk on these?
I'm gonna guess no.
9. Sorry, I'm back. Yes, you. This is real terrain. It is terrain that is difficult, and it will require a skill check to make your full movement going across it because it is very steep. But you can move across it.
And that includes all the way up to where.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yep. I mean, it is potentially traversable.
potentially traversable.
Depends on what adventuring equipment you have that might make it easier or harder,
Oh.
or if you can find a way to bring that thing down closer to you. And also, just for a point of, just so we're clear, this is all cloud cover, but it's not like, just a vacuous hole. Like, the mountain comes down here.
Oh, okay.
So, Coco, it's not like this is just like a thing that you can't go across.
Yeah, I'm not limited to this space and what's to the left of me.
Yes, exactly. Like, you could conceivably climb down the spire and go across. This isn't just a complete drop.
Okay.
Cool.
Huh. Well then.
So, Louis, the Ash competitive passive doesn't actually do anything here because you rolled the best,
Because I rolled the best.
and we don't have Ash to reroll.
Wait, is the Sphinx in the? Oh, he is, but he's down at the bottom. Is he
rolled
only that
badly.
one?
all
No, it is
three?
three.
Oh, he's
Yeah, he's 9, 8,
times
and
the
3.
initiative, and he rolled badly all the time. Interesting.
He's got his own hype train, basically.
Yeah.
Aw.
I just tried to use the space bar to mark his initiative, but that doesn't work.
It is kind of weird, yeah, how he's like super just close to himself. Okay.
Yeah. He's sandbagging for the win.
I've got my own back.
We're gonna go ahead and remove the NPCs.
What do I have again?
Take the NPCs out of batting order.
Sack-O sled and firebomb.
Yeah, let's check
Man.
out what I got. If
How
you
to
combine those two,
remove-
Matthew,
Yeah, if you combine those two, you can, I think, get rid of several bridges at once. You create some sort of nuclear sled.
Magic ability of no more bridge.
I have the planar box.
You
what if I
don't
put
stop our progress. I stop our progress.
If I put the planar box around the Cheshire Sphinx's head,
The Cheshire Sphinx can't destroy any more bridges if there aren't any more bridges.
Yeah, wait, that's... That's not the planar box.
Okay.
That's the executioner's box. Different box.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Jesus Christ, that would be such a morbid way to use that tool. Just
Yeah, I
like
know.
I sentence you to planar box, close it on their head.
Put on this hat.
Yeah. Anyways, let's. So, are we all just starting in the location where we currently are on the map?
Yep, you're waiting on deck to cross that bridge. So yep.
Okay, cool.
Oh, wait, gotta give Louis his rush.
Oh, true.
Oh, that's right. I got the top of the initiative. Well, I guess what I would like to do would be to begin making my way towards the Sphinx. So, do I have to make like a athletics check to like I just like to hop down off of this like ridge pathway thing and onto this mountainous terrain and attempt to start walking up the mountain.
Yep, sure thing. Yeah, go ahead and we'll say you're kind of like behind this. You don't have to like go around it. You can just drag yourself forward, however many feet you want to move, and make an athletics check. Or
Also, the path to get up to this area, would that be like would it be to like go around this way?
That looks easier. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that looks easier than like going down here and going up that. Okay, good to know. And what is the rollable range on the firebomb? Is that specified?
No.
That'll just be an athletics check.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Depends what you roll.
Yeah, it's not a super heavy thing, but so you probably can't throw it 100 feet, but you should be able to throw it 40 feet pretty reliably.
I can make it to here, and also let's pull up the assist spells. Those are kind of important. Sometimes they have very important things in them. We got Digby. Oh god, we got Riku. What? Target enemy with less than... Oh, okay. Cannot be used to kill it. Okay. I'm gonna move up to here, and I would like to use the prepare an action action to prepare an action of swinging my sword and making a basic attack against one of these Xerix if they come into melee with me.
Sure.
And that's gonna be my turn. That's my standard action to prepare an action, right? That's how that works.
Yep, that is. Yep. And this thing is gonna fly over. It's gonna fly 50, and it's immediately gonna go after Louis.
Here we go. Oh, I wonder how much movement these guys. Is that guy full moving, or is he?
Okay.
Yeah.
Louis darting from behind the spire as this Xeric lands, delivers a cut to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm making effective use of the terrain by using this this thing.
Yep. Gonna move 30. Use short flight. Come up into Louis' area and just give him a nice little claw. Kirkus is up.
I'm technically like above. I can target Louis. All right. I have my raise my lantern high. Have my light. In case Louis and let's do Stella. And then I would like to like flip around the other side of this rock and then slide down. Because I meant like I'm on this like.
Oh,
this spike
here, Dan. Choose one besides Stella since Carlson's not here.
Oh. I'll choose Aurora then.
Sorry.
Let's go.
So you're sliding down this
Yeah,
rock.
I'm gonna like jump over this post here, and then slide down this rock to land on the other side.
Okay, make an athletics or an acrobatics check. All right, easy enough.
Oh yeah. That's it for me.
Okay. Rise up.
So, real quick, as an aside, what is this down here? Is this like clouds or is it sand?
It's clouds. It's cloud cover, but it's like, you know, beneath it you can see like it's just mountain.
Yeah, there is floor.
Okay.
There's floor
There's-
right below the cloud.
Okay.
More of a dense fog at the bottom of a valley than.
Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna move up to here. I am going to actually just hype up Kirkus for his slide down. Like, yeah, get him, Kirkus.
Cool. Alright, this guy's gonna move 30. And then he's gonna move like right there and kind of perch itself on the side of the mountain. Zarf is up.
Oh, he has a turn?
He's pretty far away.
Zarf is gonna walk up here, and he raises his spear up, like he's about to throw it, and he like does a throwing motion but doesn't let go of the spear, and this bolt of light, red light, comes from his spear and hits into this Zarek. And then you hear from the bolt of red light, it's like pulsing right now, like a homing beacon. You're like, Doka! And he's going to have Louis make an immediate basic attack as a swift action on this Zarek.
Wait,
Whoa.
which Zarek? Ah, that one.
Dude,
Ooh.
Zarf is
Quite
broken.
excellent. Okay.
Okay. That's Zarf's turn. This Zarek. 30 and kind of just perch right there. Lenora.
I'd like to attempt to scale this rock face.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lenora begins to struggle scaling the rock face, and Zarf can see that you're struggling. And Zarf takes out of his back pocket some rope, and he closes his eyes, and this red light glows on the rope, and the rope disappears, and then all of a sudden appears next to Lenora, wraps around the rock above Lenora, and now there is a rope dangling for Lenora to grab onto. And you can see Zarf's other passive, and he will use the guide of Swift Tools. So you may attempt to climb that again. This turn has a swift action with advantage.
Okay. can't
He's the
believe-
love of my life. He's the man that I always needed.
Listen,
Yeah.
Cool
I
said that
cannot
Zarf was very
believe that
experienced.
Cool was so like casual. We're like, oh yeah, he's very experienced. You know, he'll be a pretty good guy. Because he puts the team on his back,
The
on
guy
his very
god.
small back.
Yes, he does. All right, yeah, that is enough, Lenore. Use the rope that Zarf has summoned and can climb up there.
Okay. From here, I'm not even going to catch my breath. I'm just going to take out a spear and hit the one guy I can hit.
Ooh, first blood.
Nice.
That's turn.
All right. Zarek is going to move 30, and then it's going to use its short flight and land on top of here with Lenora. And claw you. Zarek's going to come to about here and just chill. And we're up at the Sphinx.
Oh, jeez.
Ah, jeez. All right. So, for the Sphinx's beginning of turn,
I wonder what he's gonna do.
um,
PCs, we've got.
he is going to, so first off, use his passive. Suggestion. So, start of each of his turns, he's going to make a suggestion to one of you. If you accept the suggestion, you have to do what he suggests. On your turn, if it's on your turn, or immediately, if it's immediately.
Okay.
If you accept it, you have to do that thing, but you also gain a power for this fight. If you try and brush off the suggestion, you lose 2 energy. And he's going to go after Louis. And he's going to say, "You, sir, you're very comfortable where you are. You want to stay right there." And he's suggesting, Louis, that you don't move on your next turn.
Do I have to make the choice right now, or can I
Yes,
make the
you
choice
do.
on? Oh, I have to make the
Right
choice
now.
right now.
Yep.
I am going to not accept suggest.
Okay. You fight it off in your brain, even though you can feel compulsion to do that. No, no, I'm not going to do that.
Oh God.
And yeah, go ahead and lose 2 energy. Now, for his action this turn, all of you in your minds hear again, "We had so much fun last time. How about another riddle?" This is a team challenge.
God.
Wait, if they succeed, they each receive some. They say. Oh.
Yep.
Oh wow. Oh, this
I'm-
is really interesting.
I'm going to bust out my stopwatch, and I'm going to post the riddle in
Oh
chat.
my God. Wait,
And as a
in
team-
chat, in the game, in the chat
Yep,
window
yep,
of the game.
in the
Oh,
chat window in
boy.
the game, and you guys will have 30 seconds as a team to solve the riddle.
Do we say it out loud or type it or both?
Let's just say it out loud. I think that's fine.
Okay, time to shout some answers.
Hold on, I need to stretch.
Mental gymnastics, mental gymnastics.
I'm ready.
5.5, 5.5.
Also remember that if you're all shouting at the same time, I might miss something. So and that'll be canon for the Sphinx. So make sure that we're not just literally just word vomiting everywhere.
When in doubt, it's the wind, death, or a hole.
All right, we'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
So here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna say the riddle, and then I'm gonna post it in chat, and then I'm gonna start the timer. So it'll start after I have said the riddle, but I'll post it in chat just for reference.
Okay.
So let me get my phone ready here. I have townships, yet no houses. Forests, but no trees. Rivers, but no water. What am I?
A map.
Got it.
I was actually going to say to Dana's thing, or it's a map.
So, do you
should
guys have heard this before, or you actually are just like geniuses?
I
We're
heard
all,
that
we're all
already.
geniuses,
I
Brendan,
had not heard this
obviously.
one before, but
No, I'm talking about the 2 that got it instantly.
well, we didn't get it instantly. We got it during when he was saying it. That's like several seconds.
Okay. Well, but did you hear it before?
Brendan, some of us
Okay.
are better at this than others. It's okay.
Because I'm just curious. I'm just curious if I'm just that bad, or
Yeah,
like you
He's
guys just
holding on the map.
you guys just on your free time read riddles.
I think
I
Rob said
actually-
he had heard it before, but Matthew had not.
Yeah. Although when I heard it before, it took a similar amount of time to solve it.
Oh, you guys are geniuses.
That was actually in a different D&D campaign.
Oh god, you're the
Yeah.
best DM riddles.
DMRiddles.com.
All right.
That's how I felt about the fire one earlier. I was like, I've heard this before, but I could not remember what it was.
Yeah. See, it's tricky because with some of the with some of the riddles and stuff, like the fire one and things like that. Sometimes I'll know the answer and I'll be like, I don't want to say anything because I want to leave it open. We only have 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's.
Holding back is actually grief.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, I like thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, would Coco know the answer to a riddle? Definitely not.
Matt,
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm doing when I'm playing Knob and not answering the questions.
I earlier this summer I went on a date, and the person that I went out with was like, "Hey, do you know any riddles? Let's spend the next let's riddle." And I was like, "Shit, I don't know any riddles." And all that I did was just recite riddles from our D&D campaigns. And we've played D&D for so long that lasted me like half an hour. I came up with 0 unique riddles. They were all riddles the bats told.
I'm surprised you remember that video.
Did you human soul on fire?
So on fire.
Did you
Actually, I lied. I also took some from the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic video game.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Some people are just riddlers, you know. Some people just they like riddling.
Yeah,
Some-
famously
some-
the Riddler.
I was gonna say some person is the Riddler, actually.
Yeah,
The
he's
Qui-
standing
the
over here and he's
Quizzler
got wings.
for Villain City fans.
The Quizler.
Quizler.
All right. George will make his way, going around the pillar.
Okay. Yeah. Easy enough. No skill check needed on that terrain.
And he will try to hop and flop the soul. I think my thing appears glitched.
You clicked on yourself.
Yeah, it just says not hovering. I can't see any indicators when I'm hovering over him.
Try minimize and maximize again.
Hop and flop.
Hop and flop.
I don't believe we gained the energy from that.
Because you're all
Oh.
full.
Except for Louis and
Yeah.
Carcass.
I
Yeah.
think I did.
You know, we're
gain
not
the
full. We all lost energy coming from
Oh,
the
that's
mountains.
Oh yeah.
right.
How much energy
oh.
do we gain?
No, it should be programmed in. You should have gained the energy.
Yes, I forgot.
Yeah, I have 16 now.
I forgot that we lost one before.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
we should be at -3 if you cast a spell yet. And we were. So that we did.
All right. As George successfully harvests it,
You're not done fighting. Come back and join our side. Arise.
Please.
Let's go! The first ultimate of the campaign, baby!
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
oh,
Oh!
the true necromancer.
Oh
It's the-
shit. I thought that you were going to bring out Parith, and I was like, please. Poor man.
And you see the Zarek on the ground begin to. Its arms begin to move in kind of an unnatural way, snapping into place, and the threads of its muscle and sinew begin to sew themselves back together from Louis' cut. And it gets up and has that same shadowy aura, spectral aura that George's summons have. And yeah, it's gonna fight on your side now.
It goes right after me too. Initiative.
Yes, thank you for that. Yep.
And that's all George is gonna do.
Do you command it or does Matt command it?
Matt commands it, I think.
I do.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And it
I
will
can
go
give it a
ahead.
command though. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. If you want to tell it to like hit the thing in front of Louis or to go forward, you can
I
tell
think
it.
it'll get an AOO if it leaves though, right?
It will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, it will.
Focus the low health one. And then attack your commander, the Sphinx.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's a kill for George.
Nice.
First attack is a critical. That's a 100% crit rate so far.
I mean, we don't know what kind of juice he's feeding him. Picks him up.
And then it's going to follow George's command, move 30, and then use short flight
Oh baby.
Oh.
to get there. Yeah, they have their own abilities and attacks and stuff when George reanimates them. So first all time, let's go, baby! All right, that Zarek will get into place, and
Hop
the Sphinx
once more.
to hop once more.
Love it.
It's a
we'll
real
go.
necromancer ability.
Keep killing. I'll keep bringing them back.
You have more than one of those?
I mean, it's only 5 EP.
Well, you only have one ult per rest, so.
Uh.
Yep. Your ult
But-
is one ult.
Nerfed.
But that does reset on short rest.
So
Only
the,
long rest.
yep,
Wait, what? Only
ults-
long rest?
Yep, we
Yep.
talked about this last time. Yeah, ults
Oh,
reset
okay.
on long rest. Yeah.
Discourage us from just dumping everyone's ult on, for instance, this fight, and then, you know,
Ah.
trivialize. Like, all the fights are just everyone dunks their ults.
Yeah,
Instead, it's like,
it's more about letting, you know, like half the team carry one fight and then half the team carry the other fight, you know, instead
yeah,
of
exactly.
having just like every fight, everybody else kind of.
Makes sense.
Every fight, all else, yeah.
I'm about it.
Cool. So
It makes it much cooler that George ulted here.
yeah, it's so cool. I mean, I was hype. The Sphinx will use its suggestion, and it will use its suggestion on Lenora, and it will say, "That one next to you, it's weak. It'll surely fall by just the simplest of your attacks." And it's asking you on your next turn to use your standard action to just basic attack the Zarek next to you, not to use an ability, just to basic attack the one next to you.
And if I do that, I get.
If you
One
accept, you get
power.
1 power.
I'll do it.
Cool.
I just have to use my standard action to do basic attack, right?
Yep.
So-
Yep.
What happens if the action becomes impossible by the time, like, the turn comes? Like, what happens if someone kills that Zarek before Lenora's turn?
What happens if I kill that?
We'll give her. Well, you won't give her the power anymore. We'll just take away the power, and nothing will happen.
Need to fuck away from my kill.
I can actually take power away from another player. If Louis kills it, does he gain the power?
And then, for its turn, it is going to whisper into the minds of George, since he just reanimated this thing, and we will do Kirkus. Say, "I'd like to play a game with you two. It'll be fun." He will cast Sphinx's Game. So, you two are each going to roll a d10 in the campaign macros,
Right.
and you take true damage equal to your roll. However, if you roll the same, neither of you takes damage. And 2 other people can join in on this to try and have a higher chance of rolling the same number as another ally.
It was Kirkus and.
George.
George.
Alright, I'm hopping in the game.
Okay, Coco's in the game. One other person may enter the game if they want. Okay. Let's
Wait,
have-
hold on. I'm still reading this.
Okay, no problem. No
Oh,
problem.
this is kind of like that thing from Dungeon Crawl. That's right. That's why it
Yep.
seems a little familiar. That was
Yep.
such a cool
Okay.
mechanic.
All right,
I love
I'm in.
this.
I'm in because like if it only 2 of you guys are playing, then it decreases the likelihood of you getting the good roll.
We're about to take 40 damage net.
I mean, yeah, it does mean that you risk yourself taking damage, so that is the risk reward. So, okay, so Kirkus, Coco, Lenora, and George, everybody roll a d10. It's in the campaign macros. I think it's the second.
First one.
Oh boy.
First
Well,
one.
it's
First one?
impossible for us to take 40. Oh.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
no.
Let's
Oh
go.
no! Oh,
No!
Man.
No, but it's impossible for us to
We
take 40.
we almost had the
we
we almost had
didn't
the
take
Possible to
40.
straight.
take
We didn't
40,
take
not possible
40.
25.
We almost had the straight, but we got 4, 5, 6, 10.
It was very close, and Coco will take 6. Wasn't that just such fun?
That wasn't a riddle at all.
But he'll stay there.
I do appreciate Lenora and Coco for helping us, though.
For sure. Oh, he's back. He's chaining.
Oh,
All right, another suggestion. What's up next? Knob and Coco.
Suggest to me again that I should attack that same guy.
Receive double strike.
We're gonna make a suggestion on Kirkus. Strong man, can tell that you have great fortitude, and surely it will take someone of your stature to face me. Kirkus, he's going to suggest to you that next turn, for your movement, you can do this with your entire movement, you will move adjacent to him.
wait. I can't.
It will break the rules of the game.
Oh,
You will
okay.
get extra movement. And yep, so for your movement next turn, you will move next to him.
And just his movement, not like a full move or anything?
Yep, just your movement. That's all I'm offering. It's just your movement.
Wow. That's actually,
Wow.
he's so generous.
Oh my god.
How would you like to come sit in my lap?
I wish he gave me that.
No, he gave you the sit and stay over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big grin across Kirkus's face. We'll see if you'll still be wishing for that suggestion.
Oh, I don't know what Kirkus' ult is. What if it's like you and the other guy auto-attack each other until one of you is dead?
There's
You're
no
wrong.
more Broncos. That doesn't exist.
It's like, wait,
No
Alf?
more Broncos.
So you're accepting it, Kirkus?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool. I'll give you your power.
Wait, the Sphinx realized I was gonna try to firebomb him. He's defending himself.
Oh shoot, and he needs to do standard action.
You know, nothing stands between us and the use of a firebomb.
It's true. It's our legacy.
Okay. So, our next riddle, team riddle. Here we go, boys.
Okay, here we go.
Sight. I once had, now stolen. Full of thoughts. White and empty.
Fog and eraser.
Both incorrect?
Blank piece of paper.
Nope.
Saturday once and now still full.
Nope.
Now white empty.
Asleep?
A blind eye.
That
Which-
is 30 seconds. The answer is a skull.
Oh, blind and empty.
That's pretty metal.
Well,
So you'll take the full damage from the riddle. I thought
Oh.
you would be better at this game. We'll try again, don't worry.
Oh, he's taunting us.
Soon he's gonna
Stop
see how
it,
good he is at the
Riddler.
game. He's gonna see how good he is at the game of not bleeding when you get stabbed. That's what I always do to people who tell me hard riddles.
Like your date?
I mean, we only went on one date. Don't Google news stories about Austin.
Oh, jeez.
Keep Austin weird.
All right. So this looks like pretty dangerous.
Pretty dangerous, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna take my turn to full move and
Okay.
start coming down from here. But
Okay.
that's all I can do on my turn.
Okay.
All right. What am I allowed to walk on?
I mean, you're technically like behind this thing. You're not on top of this right now. You're like on the other side of it. So you can walk across stuff. It's a little bit treacherous over here, But all of this is
So I can okay.
yeah.
Hold on.
You can walk anywhere.
I can
It's just
get to here.
yeah.
Okay.
If you want to be like behind that pillar, not like on top of it.
Yeah. I'm going to throw some jerky to Lenora.
Oh,
Catch it in your mouth.
hell yeah.
And then, Lenora, your belts, they speak to me.
For the belt.
Oh man.
Yes. Yes.
And, while we're at it,
Wait, is that one specifically designed for me? Because I do have 4 belts.
Yes.
yes.
They're all specific to the people.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. All right.
I can't remember how many we've seen. I remember Sloane's special socks.
We have not seen all of them. And then, while we're at it, the belt spoke to me, and it wants to grow. And I'm hoping to push the Zarek off the pillar.
Yeah, he'll kind of fall down there.
He may be so fat.
We're gonna move you like here, just
Cool.
so you're off the pillar.
What does this actually look like? Like, how tall am I? I assume I'm still proportioned correctly, right?
Well, you've taken. I think you take up like 4 times the space. You're like 4x.
So yeah, for usually a token that's like that big, you're probably like 12 feet tall. You're not like 20 feet tall.
Oh, okay. All right.
12 feet tall is still pretty damn tall. Like Kirkus would be like 16 feet tall. If he got the spell. Okay. Anything else from you, Knob?
No, just save us, Lenora.
Okay, Louis is up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good call. Thank
we
you. I
gonna
wasn't even
call
looking at the time. Yeah, I wasn't even looking at the time. Thank you. Yeah, let's definitely call it.